In Denver, the Broncos will be playing before their 277 consecutive sellouts, and they're off to an outstanding start. In first place in the AFC West at 5-2. They'll be matched up against another first-place team, the Atlanta Falcons, who lead the NFC South. They're also 5-2. Both teams trying to bounce back from a loss in their last game. It's the Atlanta Falcons and the Denver Broncos on the NFL on Fox. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the NFL on Fox, and happy Halloween. I'm Sam Rosen along with Bill Moss. We're dressed up as football announcers this week. A little scary. What was scary for the Atlanta Falcons was last week in Kansas City, where their defense, which had been very good for most of the start of the season, gave up 56 points. They have a long way to bounce back, Bill.
No question they got the trick and not the treat in Kansas City. When you go into the NFL record books, you want it to be for a positive note. And giving up 8 rushing touchdowns, the Atlanta Falcons defense did last week, and you see 22 runs over 6 yards, well, that's not a good thing. And the running game in the NFL is one in which challenges a man's personal pride, your manhood, and they feel like that's at stake. They were number 1 against the rush going into the thing, and they just got blown up. The running game is about body on body. It's about dominating at the line of scrimmage, and they feel they've got abused. Now, they need to bounce back from that. They have to bounce back from it. The coaches may be concerned, but the players suffered a scar that's worse than any physical injury.
And they'll have to bounce back against a very good offensive team in the Denver Broncos. These are two teams with a lot of similarities. Mobile quarterbacks, Jake Plummer and Michael Vick, speed at the running back positions. Mirror images, really, Bill.
Oh, yeah, they are. And that mirror on the wall is Alex Gibbs, the Atlanta Falcons offensive line coach, who was in Denver. And when he came to Denver and put in this running game, which all 11 people on offense are involved in, well, it took him to 2 world championships. And now he's in Atlanta, and he's installed that scheme. But the edge might go to the Denver Broncos. This is the first year Atlanta's seen this scheme and are just still the baby steps part of it. Well, Denver's been running it for quite some time, and they know it like the back of their hands. And Jake Plummer can make more plays, I believe, outside the pocket as a passer than Michael Vick can right now at this stage.
All right, there's been a lot of action already in the NFL, and if you want to check on how your fantasy team is doing, dial 63504 on your singular wireless phone or log on to foxsports.com. It's trick-or-treat time on Halloween. They come in all shapes, sizes, and costumes.
Fox Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
Scores of earlier games, the Giants winning in Minnesota, Dallas ahead of Detroit. How about Philadelphia trying to go 7-0? And look at Kansas City, 56 points last week, 38 this week. But what a wild one, Indianapolis trying to come back on them.
Don't think Denver coaches didn't have an eye on that game before kickoff here.
They certainly did. The Broncos have won the toss, elected to receive. Jay Feely with a low line drive, rolling kick. And it is returned by Rock Alexander, the rookie defensive back. Broke through the first wave and is taken down at around the 31-yard line by Demario Williams, a rookie linebacker. Jake Plummer leads his team onto the field. 58% completions, 11 touchdown passes thrown by Jake Plummer this season. Offensive line has given up only 6 sacks this season, but 3 last week. Reuben Drones, the number 1 running back, has had 100-yard rushing games in 3 consecutive games. And Rod Smith is the leading receiver. From the 31, it's Reuben Drones. There's a good hole. And he's up to the 37, maybe the 38-yard line. The Atlanta Falcons defense, which was outstanding up until last week, they need to regroup. Chad Lavallee playing for Rod Coleman, who's missing his 3rd consecutive game. Chris Draft is back after missing 2 games at middle linebacker. He's a key man. Corey Hall is out at safety. D'Angelo Hall is making his first NFL start. Kevin McAdam is starting at safety, replacing Corey Hall. Darius Watts, rookie wide receiver, is in for Denver. Plummer has plenty of time. Short to Reuben Drones, an outstanding receiver out of the backfield, and he's up to the 48-yard line. A first down for the Broncos.
And the Broncos, you know, we talked about the demoralizing defeat about the Atlanta Falcons in the top, Sam. But, you know, Denver got one that hurt them last week. Monday night, primetime, against a team in which I think that everybody on the Denver Broncos coaching staff and players thought that they were a better team than. And sometimes those things happen about the midway point of the season, what you're at right now. And you kind of maybe get lulled to sleep about a team and maybe don't take them as serious as you should. I think it was a wake-up call.
Two tight ends in. Wayne Carswell is back after a one-game suspension. On the bootleg, the throw is complete to Rod Smith. Boy, I don't know if there's anybody, Bill, who throws better rolling to his left than Jake Plummer.
Right, well, there's that offense. We're talking about the mirror image off the top. You run some zone plays, you run some zone plays. They're all going to be going this way, and Jake Plummer and Rod Smith and Carswell are coming across the opposite side of the field. And when you have to defend a team that's, you know, up in the top 5 in rushing the football, your linebackers have to come downhill and attack that run-blocking look that they give you.
Picked up 26 on the play on first down. End around. Darius Watts gets tripped up. Falls down at the 18-yard line. Jason Webster made the tackle as the Broncos varying the offense thus far.
And they're going to check the backside here. And they're going to give you a run look again this way, and they're going to reverse out of it. But see how the backside comes crashing down inside? As long as they're seeing the defensive end and the outside linebacker honoring the run block fake so intently, they're going to give you that bootleg out of the back until you take it away from them.
And around the other way to Rod Smith, chased by Kearney, and he's out of bounds inside the 15 to the 13. It's another first down for the Broncos.
We talk about the zone blocking. This is the zone blocking. All the linemen simultaneously going the same way to try to get the defense to bite with them. They want the defense all to flow to the right. Now, they always keep an eye on the backside end and see what he's going to do. If he comes crashing down inside, they're going to reverse him off that or end around or the bootleg off of that. If he stays outside, they'll give him a gap. They'll cut back in the run lane.
Two tight ends in again. Blitz coming, but Drones goes the other way. Fights off one tackler out of bounds at the 5-yard line. He picked up 7 on the play. Chris Draft pushed him out. Reuben Drones, who started the season in the game plan as a backup fullback to Mike Anderson. Now he's the feature running back, and he has run very, very well.
Well, now that they've got the Atlanta Falcons defense going sideline to sidelines and concerned about the misdirection, watch them line up with their big bodies and come right downhill at them.
Second and a short 3. Patrick Cape in motion. Reuben Drones cuts it back to the inside, gets about a yard on the play. Good job by the Falcons up front. Keith Brooking was in on the tackle on Reuben Drones.
And that's the downhill. And there's nothing worse defensively than you feel if you're on the run and on your heels and not on your toes playing. What I mean by that is when they've got you running sideline to sidelines and they're beating you in your containment, then they run downhill at you and they knock you off the ball. You're confused and you cannot just hone in on one aspect of the game.
Two tight ends in. Fullback is Kyle Johnson, 3rd and a yard and a half. Drones behind Johnson to the goal line. And he's just short, but he's got a first down at the 1-yard line.
That was a big hit by Chris Draft, the linebacker. Number 54, the middle linebacker. He's just got back into the starting lineup. He was out last week, 2 weeks, a little bit nicked up. But watch him flow down the line of scrimmage at the goal line and make that big hit on Drones, keeping him out of the end zone.
But it's a 1st and goal. Good lead block by Kyle Johnson, the fullback.
Okay, they gave him 2 downhill plays right here. Look for a bootleg now.
Kyle Johnson in motion. And the hand to Drones, and he stopped just short. Tried to dive, never got up in the air. And he's pushed back at the 1-yard line. Travis Hall with good penetration to make the stop.
Well, you know, Travis Hall is excellent at getting the push. Look at these guys right here. He gets that depth. He gets that push underneath. He gets his head down like a root hog, Sam. The head is in the turf, his butt is up in the air, and his feet are chopping forward.
Actually lost half a yard on the play.
Okay, now comes the bootleg. They give you 3 downhill looks. They've got him honed in here. They're concentrating on getting upfield. Watch Jake Plummer on a roll.
10th play of the drive. There's the fake. He throws deep in the end zone. Touchdown to Patrick Haight, the tight end. Third touchdown of the season for Patrick Haight. Jake Plummer's 12th touchdown pass. And the Broncos with an impressive opening drive.
Sam, I'm a nose tackle.
Yes.
I'm no football genius.
Yes.
I'm no guru. Okay?
You're not? You told me you were.
Yeah, heck yeah. I'm a root hog. I played over the center for...
Here's Jason Elam for the extra point. Jason Elam has now scored points in 180 consecutive games. That is the 3rd longest streak in NFL history. Patrick Haight.
When you're lined up at the defensive end and you're outside the tight end, when he engages, you have to engage. If he releases, you have to get out in coverage with him. It's man-to-man. He fights on the fake, and he doesn't stay with Patrick Haight on the release.
Too late for Brady Smith. Haight catches the pass from Jake Plummer. Broncos lead.
Remember how great the last day of school was? That's what getting away on a Southwest Airlines fun fare feels like. These low fares to your favorite vacation spots are available any day of the week and start at just $49. Book yours at southwest.com.
You are now free to move about the country.
Can inspiration make the simple act of driving around extraordinary? Yes. Can substance and style blend seamlessly together? Clearly. And can the car of your dreams be an affordable reality? Absolutely. The 150-mile-per-hour performance-tested Chrysler Crossfire. Lease one for only $299 a month if you're a well-qualified lessee. Chrysler. Inspiration comes standard.
When you're a family as incredible as the Incredibles, you need incredible technology, like SBC Yahoo DSL and SBC Dish Network.
Dad, it's starting!
Game time.
Now get DSL and satellite TV for about $57 a month. And get 4 tickets to see The Incredibles, a Disney presentation of a Pixar film.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of Super Bowl 39.
The man closest to you was Patrick Haight. Across the way, Jim Mora, the head coach, talking with his defensive coordinator, Ed Donatel.
Well, heck yeah, he needs to talk to him. Because if you want your defense to respond and bounce back, and the worst-case scenario is to let Denver march right down the field and score in the opening possession.
Alan Rossum on the return of the Micah Dorr kick. Gets up across the 25 before he is buried. Uh-oh. The dogs know it's Halloween. They're out there barking.
Crisp, because it's fresh.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Budweiser. Grab a cold, fresh Budweiser. It's game time.
Good start for Mike Shanahan and the Broncos. First time they've scored a touchdown on an opening drive this season. And an impressive 10-play, 69-yard drive. Now it's the Falcons from the 26 with Michael Vick at quarterback. Throws short and completes to Des White up across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Donnie Spragan with a tackle. Michael Vick is the quarterback. Only 4 touchdown passes, but he's run for 348 yards. Offensive line has given up 24 sacks. Warwick Dunn. We'll see a lot of T.J. Duckett as well. Here was Price, the key receiver. Here's Dunn. Stop. Good tackle by Reggie Hayward, the defensive end.
You know, Atlanta really started out the season on fire. They rushed the football so well, and their offensive personnel really fit what Alex Gibbs and Greg Knapp brought in and how they wanted to do things. And it was really starting to aid a young quarterback in development in his passing game, giving him confidence, able to play quarterback off a strong running game. But lately, as of the last couple weeks, that's really transcended into what's almost just a quagmire at the quarterback position right now.
3 wide receivers as Vick rolls, spins, and has a first down and more. Michael Vick with speed. Stays on his feet, finally ridden down by Lenny Walls.
Is that a fumble? Ball came
Nope.
in? Yes, it was. They fumbled the ball and recovered it.
Lenny Walls with the tackle. First down on a 43-yard run by Michael Vick.
Now, here's you want confidence builders. Throw the ball on first down, and then a quarterback keeper 2 plays later. He was sprinting out, was looking for the pass, but I think they put in a few more runs, Sam, for him this week. I think you're going to see him sprinting out, rolling out, quarterback sweeps, quarterback runs, things of that nature to get him back in his comfort zone.
44 yards officially on the run. Warwick Dunn following Justin Griffith. Flag on the play as Dunn gets inside the 20 to the 19. We check out the flag. Our referee today is Terry McCauley in his 7th year. And it's against the Falcons. Check out the Denver Broncos on defense going into the game last week.
Illegal formation. Offense. Number 76 was on the end of the line. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Denver on defense. They are second in the league, giving up fewest points per game. The linebackers very fast. Al Wilson, the leader in the middle. Champ Bailey looking for a bounce-back game after a rough one in Cincinnati. Dunn and Griffith in the backfield on 1st and 15. Vick with time. Short to Warwick Dunn. It's down to the 21-yard line. Al Wilson and DJ Williams, the 2 linebackers, combine on the stop.
And you can see that Greg Knapp right out of the chutes. It has to take away what Kansas City did to Atlanta last week. And what they did to him was put the onus of winning and gaining on Mike Vick. They shut down, they committed everybody to the run game and took them out of it. So Mike Vick was forced to pass, and then they just blitzed him. Now they're coming out early and establishing short passes.
Warwick Dunn on 2nd down, barrels his way down to the 16-yard line.
Warwick Dunn, the ball carrier.
Bring up a 3rd and 3. John Lynch making the stop. John Lynch has been a valuable addition to the Broncos defense with tremendous leadership, bouncing back from an injury where he lost 70% of the strength in his right arm. But he says he's healthy, and he's been a valuable member of the Broncos defense. 3 wide receivers for Atlanta on 3rd and 3.
They need to make 3rd downs. This is the problem area.
We've got Finneran and Jenkins in the lineup. Fake toss. Vick to Finneran. He's got the first down, out of bounds, close to the 11-yard line.
3rd downs have been horrendous for the Atlanta Falcons thus far this year. And they're not far off. If they got 2 more games, they could be leading the NFL. But right now this season, 23%, you can see where that ranks amongst the NFL average. And, of course, a lot of people believe that 3rd down is where you win and lose ball games. And 3rd down, especially 3rd down and longer than 4 yards, is a problem. And it's a quarterback problem.
And they're 2 for 2 on 3rd downs in the game. Warwick Dunn on first, breaks through and gets inside the 5-yard line as Atlanta going straight ahead with their running game.
Good ones. Good point, Sam, and they are. And this is a running game with Warwick Dunn that usually would like to go outside, but they're coming downhill at the Denver Broncos because the speed at the defensive linebacker position. When you have DJ Williams, Al Wilson, and even Donnie Sprague, the speed is so great there that there's no sense in going outside on them. They'll get to the perimeter. Go right at him.
Fake by Vick. He rolls, being chased by DJ Williams, who drags him down.
There's the speed.
DJ Williams, the rookie out of Miami. He doesn't play like a rookie. He's off to a great start.
There's the speed.
He has added speed to that defense.
Yeah, when you lose a knee in Gold, who you lost in free agency, boy, you're thinking, what the heck? But bringing in DJ Williams and making him the first pick, that's something special. You see Mike Vick's head get slammed down, just like a whiplash reaction when his backside hit the ground first, just automatically whipped the back of his head against the ground.
They're thrown back to the 9. They've got to get inside the 2 for a first down. 3 wide receivers. Algie Crumpler was split out. Outside, it's complete, but short of the first down is Algie Crumpler out of bounds at the 6.
That's okay for Mike Vick and the Atlanta Falcons. Do you know why? Because he passed out of the blitz. I know they didn't get the first down, and maybe he didn't see all the field, and maybe he didn't respond and get out of that situation quick enough, but he made a pass completion against the blitz, and that's what he hasn't been able to do. If he continues to do that, teams will back off the blitz a little bit more.
Field goal, Jay Feely will attempt a 24-yarder. He is 8 for 8 this season. Out of the hold of Chris Moore, the kick is good, and the Falcons are on the board. They answer back with 3. They had a good drive, led by Michael Vick, running and passing. Philadelphia and Pittsburgh. There'll be some good games on Fox. Dallas and Cincinnati. Washington at Detroit, which Bill and I will be at.
You should hear Terry sing Motown.
Feely kicking off. Bounces by Rock Alexander through the end zone for a touchback.
If you thought he was good as a country western singer, you are going to be amazed at the way he sings Motown.
I can't wait. We'll get the CD. See the snow in the mountains already, Bill? You can get your skis out and going down the mountains.
Only a matter of time for me.
Offensive line of the Denver Broncos, led by the veteran Tom Nalen in the middle, his 11th year.
Sometimes they'll put defensive linemen on skates.
2 tight ends in, the play fake by Jake Plummer. Putting it up top and deep for Rod Smith. He's got it. Smith gets away. Stays on his feet and he goes in. Touchdown, 80 yards.
Penalty flag down.
It's a roughing the passer against Atlanta. The touchdown stands. 80-yard bomb. Plummer to Smith.
Man-to-man on the outside with no safety help, Sam. The safeties were down inside on the run fake. Jason Webster in man-to-man coverage against Rod Smith on the deep post pattern.
See that? 55 touchdown catches in his career, ties Shannon Sharp for the team record. There's the final. Kansas City beat Indianapolis 45-35. And Ed Donatel, he's got to be shaking his head, Bill. The defense is really letting the Falcons down. Extra point, Jason Elam. Boy, was that quick. 1 play, 80 yards. Broncos' longest play of the season.
Safeties were down inside. They were thinking run. They had that run look. They had big tight ends in there. Man-to-man on the outside without safety help, Sam. It's a dangerous gamble. And down the box playing run. The 6th man right here, who is actually the 8th man, is the safety. That leaves single safety high right here. And he's actually going to roll to D'Angelo Hall's side, leaving one-on-one on the backside with Jason Webster and Rod Smith. Just the matchup, Mike Shanahan and the entire Bronco coaching staff offensively. Gary Kubiak, Jake Plummer, everybody. That's the matchup you want to create. Why on earth would you roll coverage to what you consider the best pure pass cover guy on your team in D'Angelo Hall?
Micah Noor with the kickoff from the 45 because of the penalty. It becomes a touchback. Let's flash back to the Super Bowl between Denver and Atlanta, 1999. Super Bowl, this is the one. Just moments ago, Rod Smith breaking away from Jason Webster, and Jake Plummer dropped it right in.
Rod Smith, absolutely amazing to me.
Play fake by Vick. He's got time. He throws. Great grab by Algie Crumpler up at the 47-yard line. The leading receiver of the Atlanta Falcons with his 25th, making 26th catch of the season. It's a 27-yard pickup.
And the Atlanta Falcons are going out of trend. They're going out of what the computer will spit out on them all the games prior. They're throwing the ball on first down. They're getting your base defense out there on the field, and then they're going to get Vick dropped back or rolled out, and they're going to take advantage of maybe an Algie Crumpler or a third receiver on a slot guy.
3 wide receivers in, Brian Finneran and Michael Jenkins. Short drop and a pump fake. Vick runs out of the pocket. Dives forward close to the first down line. It's time for an NFL update. And for that, we go to the one and only JB.
All right, Sam Rosen, thank you very much. Seattle on the scoreboard first. Matt Hasselbeck hooking up with Sean Alexander for the score. 3 yards. That is his 9th touchdown of the season. That would be Sean Alexander. Seahawks up 7-0 early. Back to Sam, Bill, and Jay.
Thanks very much, JB. Seattle trying to break a 3-game losing streak. Won their first 3, lost their second 3. DJ Duckett in the backfield now with Justin Griffin. And here's Duckett, the power back, looking for enough for the first down, trying to push the pile, and I think he pushed the pile across the first down line. Duckett refusing to go down. Looks like he's got just about enough for the first down.
You know, this defense you have out here with the Broncos it's kind of a unique group. And they're led by defense coordinator Larry Coyer. He does an outstanding job with them. Watch them all just attack. And these guys are made up of a bunch of guys that, for the most part, I don't know if anybody really gave them a chance. Now, you exclude your #1 draft choices when you talk about DJ Williams and a Champ Bailey, but you look at the other guys, even John Lynch. You know, he was a guy that, there's Larry Coyer to the right. John Lynch was a guy down in Tampa that almost didn't make the team the first 2 years. They're going to cut him. He didn't really fit in. They didn't know if he was a cover guy or a linebacker, or they found a way to make it work because of his effort and energy. And you got the same kind of guy in the Kelly Herndons, the Reggie Haywards, Monsanto Popes, Bada Fahey, Marco Coleman. Those guys are all battling type guys. Even Kenoy Kennedy, you know, are they the most athletic? No, probably not. But do they have that fight in them that won't give up? Yeah, and that's what makes it work.
There's Atlanta 3rd and inches. As Duckett came up short last time, Duckett a single back now with 2 tight ends in. Quarterback sneak by Vick, and he's got enough for the first down. Both quarterbacks have started perfectly. Michael Vick is 5 for 5 passing, and Jake Plummer 4 for 4.
Well, Atlanta's come out with a nice game plan offensively. You know, this is a team that doesn't chew up much of the clock offensively. I'm not sure, but they probably lead the league in 3 and outs. They have a problem in the passing department. They have a problem on 3rd down percentage. And Greg Knapp put in one heck of an offensive game plan so far.
Griffith goes in motion. And Vick rolls and throws and completes it to Brian Finneran, who is knocked out of bounds inside the 35, they're spotted at the 34.
Take a look at some of the Falcons' offensive problems. 24 sacks, the most in the NFL, with probably the fewest pass attempts in the NFL. And you're thinking about an athletic, mobile quarterback. You know, how can you sack Mike Vick? And he's the most sacked quarterback in the NFL? That's a problem. 3rd down at 23%, that's a problem. But they're coming out, I think, with some answers that are going against what they've been doing so far this game.
2 tight ends in, Warwick Dunn carrying, and he's ridden down by Marco Coleman. Denver's still going without Trevor Bryce. They hope to have him back after the bye week, and he's a very important man on the defensive line. Meanwhile, it's Marco Coleman and Reggie Hayward playing the ends. We've reached the end of the first quarter. Good start for the Denver Broncos. They lead the Falcons 14-3. Welcome back to Denver, where the Broncos have gotten off to a good start. And before another sold-out stadium here. Now, you mentioned good offensive game plan for Atlanta, but the defense is getting burned again. Denver doing a good job.
That's a problem. Bringing a single safety, leaving a single safety high against one-on-one coverage with Rod Smith. You're just inviting to get burned.
Third down, ducked it straight ahead, pushes the pile again. First down, ball popped loose. The ball is loose and recovered by the Broncos.
Fumbles.
Reggie Hayward recovers.
You saw it on the graphic. Fumbles. You can't afford to turn the ball over. And as of late, the last couple games, that's where I think they're -6 in the last 3 games.
Yes, you're right, Bill.
In turnovers ratio. And he gets up there in the pile and he's pushing ahead, and bodies are flying around, arms are in there trying to strip the ball away. It comes out right here.
First 4 games, Atlanta was +6 in the turnover ratio. Last 3 games, they've been -6, and they turned one over here.
Al Wilson, 56, getting back up and getting back into play with the strip of the football.
So the Broncos from the 25, Ruben Drone drags Patrick Perney for a pickup of about a yard, maybe a yard and a half.
And this defense right now needs to step up and make a stand. You know, they're on the field, they're up here in the high altitude, they're sucking on some oxygen. They haven't been out there many plays, and they've given up scores both times they were out there.
They're missing 2 key players. Rod Coleman, who was in a 1-car accident and let his teammates down when he injured himself. He's missing his 3rd straight game, and Corey Hall is out at safety. Patrick Hayden in the backfield. The play fake by Plummer. Flag on the play as he fires, and the catch is made at the 30-yard line by Ruben Drones.
Well,
and a penalty for
number
holding.
78, 10-yard penalty, 2nd down.
Oh, the eyes are going to be on old 78 today, aren't they?
Matt Lepsis is the man who's called for the hold.
Matt Lepsis, number 78, right here at the end of the bottom of this picture there. Oh, well,
you don't like that call?
Well, look where the official threw the flag from. The referee threw it from the back. All he's seen is Lepsis' back. What did he see? His hands were inside. They weren't outside. I thought that was a good block by Lepsis.
Broncos set back to the 16 and 3 wide receivers in. Rod Smith goes in motion. Plummer. Ashley Lilly trying to break away from D'Angelo Hall. Hall takes him down at the 29-yard line. The Falcons have been waiting for Ashley Lilly, who was hurt in the 3rd preseason game. A small fracture in the hip. But it came back last week to make his NFL debut and is making his first NFL start.
Ashley Lilly is a guy that I think the Broncos fans have been waiting to get just to where the point he's at now, where he's becoming consistent, at least, in his play. I think for the first couple of years, he was just so sporadic and up and down, and I think people may have wondered about his commitment to playing, but I think that's been removed this year, and I think people are absolutely believing in him, what he can do on a day-to-day, game-to-game basis.
Broncos called timeout.
By Coors Light, the coldest tasting beer in the world. Coors Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL and Super Bowl 39. By HP, services and technology help companies face, manage, and love change. And by Singular Wireless.
You're watching Fox Sports, broadcasting in the world's finest high-definition standard. Here in Denver, Sam Rosen, Bill Moss. And the Broncos with 3 wide receivers will work out of the shotgun on 3rd down. Darius Watts in motion. The blitz coming. They pick it up. Plummer throws too high for Rod Smith. That's the first incompleted pass thrown in the game by either quarterback.
Well, they came with an odd man front. 3 down linemen, Sam, and then, you know, kind of it's a different wrinkle look for them. And then you don't know who the 4th or sometimes 5th rusher is going to be to a side. That time they got some pressure.
First punt of the game. And that is Micah Knorr standing back at his 15. Allen Rossum returned one for a touchdown last week against Kansas City, 75 yards. was the third punt return for a touchdown in his career. Good high punt. Rossum steps up at the 28. Takes it right. Missed by Willie Middlebrooks. Turns the corner up the sideline, out of bounds at the 40. Nice return by the NFL's leading punt returner, Alan Rossum. 42-yard punt, 12-yard return. Rossum averaging close to 16 yards per return this season.
What's called the frozen.
That's defensive tackle Rod Coleman missing his third straight game. It was 2 weeks ago yesterday, early in the morning.
Look at the sack comparison.
He rolled his car, yeah. They miss him.
Well, he's the pressure that pushes the quarterback out towards the end.
From the 40, straight ahead, T.J. Duckett. Big collision as he bowled into
that hurt
safety, John Lynch.
That hurt me.
4-yard pickup.
Sometimes, Sam, you're the bowling ball, and sometimes you're the pin. Oh! And that was a strike.
But Lynch held on. 4-yard pickup for Duckett. Anton Palapoy and Ellis Johnson in it on the defensive line for Denver. Vick starts to run, takes off, and turns it into a good gain out of bounds at the Denver 46. He's the leading running threat right now for the Atlanta Falcons.
John Lynch is down on the ground, and he was in coverage. And he was just downfield and didn't run into anybody. It may have been from the last tackle he just went through.
You think feeling the after effects?
Yeah, very well could be.
Delayed reaction, Bill?
When he started, got back in the cover, got back in the huddle, came out, was in coverage, dropped in coverage.
Being helped up. Michael Vick picked up 10 on that last play.
He may have got, when Michael Vick took off running, when Mike Vick took off running, that's when everybody's fair game. And he may have very well just got picked off downfield, Sam.
He seemed very upset, and he limps to the sideline.
Well, you remember the Warren Sapp incident up in Green Bay with the tackle? Well, that might have been one of the same things.
Nick Ferguson has replaced John Lynch, who has to come out for at least one play. Looks like it may be a lot more. Michael Vick has now run 5 times for 61 yards, including the 44-yarder earlier.
And they need to get that corrected. They, being the Denver Broncos defense, they need to get that corrected because Vick has already established a presence now in this game. And you're going to have to honor that presence because with those kind of numbers totaling right now you start worrying about him taking off, and it's going to change the way you play defense. Until they corral him and keep him in the pocket, Denver's going to have a problem.
What do you think's missing in their containment scheme?
Well, I think the rolls have done it, first of all.
Okay.
The rolls, him getting out of the pocket.
Now, this was the big collision earlier.
Yeah. And he gets up and he goes right back into coverage. Now, if you remember, Vick took off scrambling. And once Vick scrambles past the line of scrimmage, you know, that's when defensively, as a defensive player, you have to have your head on a swivel. Because that's when the offense gets to turn around and take a shot at you legally. And if they catch you when you're not looking and blindside you, it's not pretty.
John Lynch, who said it's been a refreshing new start for him in Denver after leaving the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, having played 11 seasons in Tampa Bay, including their Super Bowl championship season. First down, Falcons at the Broncos 46-yard line. With Griffith and Duckett in the backfield, the fake in the end around to Fearless Price. He's going to throw, and he finds Des White, who steps out of bounds at the 22-yard line. So the 2 wide receivers hook up. Fearless Price to Des White for 24 yards.
Watch the defense. Look at them. Look at them honor that run. Everybody is honoring the run and running. You have to. The Des White comes across from the other side against the grain. And that's what the bootleg does. And the hardest people people that have the hardest time covering it are the ends on the containment of the quarterback and the middle linebackers on the tight end coming back across or a wide receiver.
Price in motion. Vick rolling. Throws back the other way to Warwick Dunn. He dropped it. Had two blockers with him.
They were setting up that screen. They used a little dash pass look there. They call that a dash pass when you dash out to the side that you're on and the side that you're looking at where your receivers are. It's called a dash pass. And he moved the pocket. And that's obviously what Atlanta worked on this week, was moving the pocket and getting Vick outside of the pocket.
Score that Denver Broncos are interested in. San Diego with a 14-0 lead on Oakland. The Chargers are 4-3, one game behind the Broncos. On second and inches, P.J. Duckett straight ahead. Big hole. He goes to the goal line. He's in. Touchdown. P.J. Duckett broke away from Kenoy Kennedy and rambles in, and the Falcons answer back with a strong 60-yard march, 21-yard touchdown run for T.J. Duckett, his second of the season.
Justin Griffith, the fullback, took his cue from a man named Howard Griffin, and that's what Alex Gibbs asked him to become. Howard Griffin, he said, I want you to study this guy, and this is how we did the running game in Denver. This was what took us to a Super Bowl. I need you to become that guy. An unsung hero sprung it.
Extra point by Jay Feely is good. The Atlanta Falcons answer back. Michael Vick with his running. T.J. Duckett finishes it off. 5 plays, 60 yards, and a 21-yard touchdown run.
Game on Fox is brought to you by UPS. What can Brown do for you?
In February, 2 huge sporting events on Fox. It's the Daytona 500, the Great American Race, and then it's the Super Bowl. Super Bowl 39 in Jacksonville. The greatest moments of sports coming to Fox in February. Michael Jenkins, the rookie out of Ohio State. This is an outstanding coverage unit for the Atlanta Falcons. Jay Feely kicks off. Rock Alexander backs up into the end zone and takes a knee. On the touchback, Falcons defense needs a lift. Talked about Rod Coleman.
Well, he's a guy that came as a free agent from Oakland, and it's exactly what this defense needed. A 3 technique that can get upfield and just wreak havoc in the backfield. Disrupt the timing of run plays, disrupt the timing of the quarterback on pass plays, cause pressure, get in the face, flush the quarterback out to those speed rushing ends and Carney. And with him on the sideline the last 3 games, you can see what has happened to their defense. And, you know, he's some of the problem, but not all of it.
Blitz coming from the outside. Plummer got rid of it. It's knocked down by Matt Stewart.
Nice
intended for Dwayne Carswell, the tight end. When Jones went in motion, the backfield was empty, and Kevin McAdam came on the blitz. House. Dwayne Carswell back after 1 game suspension. He weighs in at 290, playing at tight end.
You know, everybody on the Falcons rave about how agile and what great feet he has and what great pass catching abilities he has as a 295, 300-pound man.
On second down, Plummer's play fake. He throws wide open. Courtier. Jake Courtier with a big gainer. Down to the Falcons' 42-yard line. It is tight end by committee. No more Shannon Sharp. They've got 3 tight ends that rotate in.
Well, I want you to take a look at the backside here, and they're going to fake it a run to the front side over in this direction. But watch the backside. All the linebackers are flowing, and there's the one-on-one on the outside, and the safety position is taking a hit right now. It's taking a hit, and defensively, they're not covering up for it. Kevin McAdam is in there at safety, replacing Hall. Corey Hall is out with an injury, and the safety position in the middle of the field is what's being exposed.
Here's Reuben Jones, flag on the play. Good tackle on the play by the corner, Jason Webster, who was blitzing on the play. That pass play.
Offside. Defense, number 94, 5-yard penalty, first down.
It's on the tackle, Chad Lavallee, who's playing for the injured Rod Coleman. The pass completion to Jeb Poussier was the longest of his career, 38-yarder.
Sam, that tight end position which you're talking about is one of, they're still getting productivity out of it, but as you said, they're getting it in a 3-man form. If you put all the numbers together, you'll have the numbers of Shannon Sharp. It once was a position of style along with substance, speed and grace and dominance. Now it's taking 3 people blue-collar work to get it done.
Quick outside of Rod Smith, but he's stopped by Jason Webster. JB's got an update on the Philadelphia Eagles, JB.
Sam and Bill, you're going to love this. Take a look at Donovan McNabb hooking up with Terrell Owens. Sam and Bill, take a look at what he does once he makes the score. You talk, did he want to duplicate Ray Lewis's move? I think he did. Hey, Bill, what do you give him? An 8 or a 10, right?
Oh, no.
Yeah, Bill.
Oh, no. You know what? Hey, please, Andy Reid cannot call a slant play. Don't call a slant play. Ray's going to be upset.
Look at what they did. They're 7-0. What a start for the Eagles. Plummer fakes, and his pass gets batted down. It's intercepted by Patrick Kearney. What an alert play by the defensive end, Patrick Kearney. A huge turnover by the Falcons defense as they come up big, and that's got to be a big lift for them, Bill.
They needed a spark, Sam. Here's Kearney on the outside with the rush, and as the ball gets batted, look, he's almost to the ground, and he just stays after it. And that's what that defense is. It really is. When Coleman's in there and Ed Jasper, Brady Smith, and Kearney, they're undersized guys. I call them the Red Bull guys, Sam. You know, if you open up their bodies, I believe they'll have Red Bull going through their veins. They just keep going and going. He was almost on the ground and never stopped. That's what made that interception happen.
Chad Lavallee, and Vic dropped the ball, picks it up, and runs, and gets a couple of yards on the play, maybe 3.
Now, I saw something like that with Boise State on Saturday. You know, they faked like it was down on the ground. It was a fumble, and he picked it up and made a play.
I don't think so.
They didn't implement that, did they?
On the interception, by the way, give credit to Chad Lavallee, the rookie defensive tackle, for the block of the pass, and then Kearney with the interception. His second of his career. Nick Ferguson has replaced John Lynch at safety.
Got a couple Red Bull there, see?
Crumpler in motion. Griffith and Dunn in the backfield. It's Warwick Dunn, and he stops the loss. Great play by Mario Fatafehi, the 4th-year defensive tackle out of Kansas State.
Easy for you to say, Sam. 68 right here. Fatafehi, Mario Fatafehi. Watch him get the push. Watch him get upfield right here and get depth and penetration. And he's one of those guys, too, with something to prove. You know what I mean? Really an unknown name on a national level, but plays with that passion to be known.
On 3rd down, Vic throws short. Justin Griffith dives, and he's got a first down. And the Falcons, we talked about their problems on 3rd down. They're now 4 for 6 on 3rd down conversions in the game.
You know what? This Justin Smith is really a nice story. Justin Griffith. I'm sorry, did I say Griffin? Justin Griffith. I like the way the guy plays the game, Sam. I like his attitude. A 2nd-year guy out of Mississippi State. And a guy that lines up everywhere. He's a lead blocker. He's a slot receiver. He moves out of tight end. He'll play H-back. He has to learn all the positions.
There's the end around to Michael Jenkins. The wide receiver cuts in. Doesn't get much. Maybe a yard on the play. Anton Palapoy got the first piece of him.
Guys in the league that are doing it now, and it's forcing defenses to stay in base personnel.
Vic to throw on 2nd and 9. He fires deep too high for Fearless Price. Only the 2nd incompletion of the game for Michael Vick.
He's like a utility man. You know the guy that just can do everything, probably in your neighborhood. The guy that just does it all. Well, he's that guy. There's no question about it. Watch the blitz pickup right here. Well, he was the fullback with the blitz pickup.
Now 3rd and 9. Vick, big rush, gets away from 1, and finds Algie Crumpler with a blocker. Crumpler is tripped up. Falls forward to the 40-yard line, a yard short of the first down. Lenny Walls made the tackle on big, strong Algie Crumpler, but did Michael Vick save the day? He was looking at a huge loss, but found Crumpler.
Crumpler's been his guy. And anybody that plays the Atlanta Falcons, when you study them and realize when Mike Vick is in a bind, when he's in trouble, when he needs to make a play, he'll go to 83. He'll look up Algie Crumpler, and that's been the play-making guy. He leads the team in reception.
Here's 4th and 1 with Griffith and Duckett in the backfield. The fake, and Vick running for it. He's got it. Trips up, he goes flying to the 35-yard line. Champ Bailey made the tackle.
And that's one of the keys. And that's one of the things that they kind of implemented to try to get his confidence back and do something that he does well. Not forcing him as they have the last couple weeks to just be a drop-back pocket passer. Let Mike Vick be Mike Vick. You know, 7 rushes already for 69 yards, and you don't think that's damaging to a defense? You better believe it is. I mean, heck, you can't get running backs to get 7. Some games you can't get a running back to get 7 rushes for 69 yards. Or get a quarterback doing it?
At the 35. And it's Warwick Dunn. Not much of a hole, and he's shoved back by Al Wilson. Picked up a yard on the play.
Al Wilson, I believe, is in one of the top 2 linebackers in this league. I absolutely love the way he plays the game, and I love what he brings to the game. And he's starting to take on a leadership role. See him slow play that? That's called slow playing. He didn't go all the way outside with the run blocks. He kind of just stayed at home, slow played it, and looked for the cutback.
9th play of the drive for the Falcons. It picked up. Vick rolling, being chased, in trouble now. He's hit, and the pass falls incomplete. A big hit. D.J. Williams got a piece of Michael Vick as he released.
D.J. Williams is going to come from the outside, and also Kelly Herndon at the top of the screen. Kelly Herndon gets picked up. He gets picked up by Warwick Dunn for a little bit. Warwick Dunn was kind of like a speed bump for a second. And then Herndon kept the pursuit on. D.J. Williams got in the mix. Reagan got in there. And Vick tried to launch it downfield, but that was closing in on him so fast and so hard, he couldn't get his body into the throw.
There's 3rd and long. Patrick Chakwara is in at linebacker for the Broncos. Vick calls a timeout. Each team has used up a timeout. A little over 4 minutes to go in the first half. Seems to be a hip problem, maybe the lower back for John Lynch. He's still hurting and limping along the sideline. Here's 3rd down and 9 for the Falcons, who are 4 for 7 on 3rd down conversions. Vick lofting it down the sideline, and it's caught by Peerless Price. There's a flag on the play. Price with his first catch of the game. A beauty. And let's see.
Bringing it back. No?
I think they're pointing against the Broncos. It stands. It's a touchdown. Peerless Price.
Illegal use of hands to the face. Defense. Number 37. Penalties decline. Touchdown.
Only the 5th touchdown pass thrown by Michael Vick this season.
Well, and what a beauty of a pass it was. In the pocket. And look at the touch and the air he puts on it for Peerless Price. That was absolutely beautiful.
34-yard touchdown pass. Nice catch. Peerless Price has now caught a pass in 79 consecutive games. He beat Kelly Herndon on the play.
Who did he call the penalty on?
I didn't hear the hands to the face penalty. I'm sorry.
I thought they got the wrong number on it.
Peerless Price scores the touchdown, his first of the season, and only the 2nd touchdown pass caught by an Atlanta wide receiver.
Yeah, and look at Mike Vick in the pocket. And they brought the blitz, and it was picked up. Outstanding job by the Falcons offensive line and backs, buying protection and time for Vick, who sat in the pocket And I think that's what all those rolls and dashes and all the out-of-the-pocket stuff has actually done. That it kind of surprises you, and you're thinking about containing him, and all of a sudden, in a 5-step drop, he's just set in the pocket and has some time. And what a beautiful touch.
The Falcons have come from 14-3 down to take a 17-14 lead. And the Broncos, the team that is second in the league in average points given up per game at fewer than 15. Now have given up 17 following the loss in Cincinnati.
Well, I know Falcons fans are excited to see a Peerless Price touchdown.
Oh, yeah. Greg Knapp gathering his offensive players around him.
Greg Knapp is doing a heck of a job with this young offense, a young quarterback who's learning, for the better part, his third offense.
Feely's kick, taken at the 1 by Rock Alexander. And he is dragged down. Outstanding coverage on the play by the Falcons once again. Sadiq Shabazz, the backup defensive back, made the stop. Next week, the NFL on Fox. The Eagles at Pittsburgh. Dallas is at Cincinnati. Redskins at Detroit. We'll be there for that one. New Orleans, late game at San Diego. Bears at the Giants. Seattle at San Francisco. And it all begins at noon Eastern, 9 Pacific with the Road Show. The pregame show on the road in Detroit. Broncos start from the 16 with Darius Watts being a wide receiver. They go straight ahead. Jake Plummer goes straight ahead for 4 yards. Chris Draft, the middle linebacker, there to take him down. Michael Vick off to an outstanding start in the game.
Well, if you look at Mike Vick's passer rating in those weeks, 2, 4, and 6, and the team rushing in those weeks, that's where he's had his success. So you can only think that it happens on even weeks, and this being the 8th week, Sam, that maybe
this is the week.
Well, look at the trends. 2, 4, 6, 8. Who do we appreciate? You had a chance, didn't you?
That's right. Ruben Drones, he's tackled for a loss. Ball comes loose. It looks like the Broncos have it back. They do. Right now, things not going well for the Broncos. Heads up play by Ben Hamilton, the left guard, to recover on the fumble. Michael Vick, the story for Atlanta, with 109 yards passing, 69 rushing. Right here, Ruben Drones, who fumbled last week, or last Monday night in Cincinnati. Ball popped loose.
I believe Travis Hall had his arm, pulling his arm, ripping it off the ball as he was going down.
To get to the 26 for a first down. Under pressure, Plummer finds Darius Watts. First down at the 33. The rookie out of Marshall, second-round draft pick, with the grab, a 16-yard pickup.
Well, this doesn't happen unless blitz gets picked up. You have a 3-man look here on the line. That's 3 men down. That's an odd front. So then they bring the linebackers in a cross dog. So now you've got 5 men, a 5-man pressure, and it all gets picked up by the offensive line and the running back.
Ruben Drones trying to get back, finds the opening, turns it into a big gainer into Falcon territory down at the 46. Brian Scott made the stop, but the Broncos are back on the move. 20-yard run for Ruben Drones. We've reached the 2-minute warning. And the Falcons lead the Broncos 17-14.
Fox NFL Sunday.
Bill, well, they're hanging in there and they're fighting. And these numbers, believe me, 4.8 a carry, 0 sacks, 2 of 3 on third down. Those aren't good numbers, but they're battling in there. You know, as I talked about at the top, they were humiliated. Their manhood was challenged in Kansas City last weekend with an NFL record-setting 8 rushing touchdowns. And the run game challenges your manhood, and that's why they're fighting back.
And they were in trouble early in this game, down 14-3.
And that's what I'm talking about, the fight. They're not going to take it. They're not going to accept it. Their pride, and as I said, their manhood is on the line here.
2 tight ends in for Denver. First down at the Atlanta 46. Drones motions. Plummer with time, lofts it deep. The Rod Smith, and it's through his hands. He was covered well that time by Jason Webster.
Rod Smith to me, and I said it earlier, is just so amazing, Sam. The things he does, the way he acts. Here's a guy who's on the verge of all-time everything here. Yards, touchdown passes, consecutive passes, records, all of them. Receptions. He's one of those guys that never stops working. He's one of the guys that I talked about earlier that don't think they're good enough. Every day, he told me, he walks in and peeps in the locker room to see if his name is still above his locker room.
Play fake by Plummer, and he rolls. Looking downfield. Throws short to Ashley Lallee, and D'Angelo Hall shoves him out of bounds at the 39. That's an interesting note. The only undrafted rookie free agent to come into the league, and now he has racked up over 9,000 career yards. Hurry up offense for Denver.
But he's got that insecurity. I mean, he was cut. He was on the verge of being cut. Then he was on practice squad. And to come in, here's a guy that's been to Pro Bowls, owns records, and comes in and peeps in the locker room to see if his name is still above his locker.
It's still there.
Wonder why he's successful.
So, Dad, there's something I need to tell you.
How much is this going to cost me?
Nah, it's not like that.
Is it the motorcycle thing again?
It's not the motorcycle. It's about what you said the other day. About doing something for myself. Maybe something important.
Pre-game show is on the road in Motown next week. We'll be there with them, too. JB, Terry, Howie, and Jimmy, noon Eastern, 9 Pacific. The best pregame show there is. On the road in Detroit, and they'll break down the big game, Eagles at Pittsburgh. And Pittsburgh is leading New England 21-3 in the first half. 3 wide receivers for Denver on third down. Ball flag, yeah. Somebody moved on the left side of the line.
Well, it was Matt Lepps at 78.
Prior to the snap, false start, offense, number 78. 5-yard penalty, third down.
That'll bring up a third and long.
You know, and when you're going against speed rushers, which you have in Patrick Kearney and Brady Smith, and 2-minute drill, obvious passing situations, Lepps just looked at the official and said, what? What do you mean I jumped offside? He's trying to get back and get depth so fast because he honors that speed. He didn't even realize he was offside.
6 defensive backs in for Atlanta on 3rd and 9. Plummer fires, and it's intercepted by Keith Brooking. Across midfield, he's tripped up at the Denver 46. Second interception of the game for the Falcons.
Well, a couple of the Boo Birds out here at Mile High, but he threw into double coverage. And Jay Plummer is one of the guys that he just believes. I'll show you the double coverage here coming in a second. He can make every throw. He's so confident in himself. 1, 2. See him in there? And Brooke just read him and jumped in front of it. And he has so much confidence that he can make any throw, that he throws any throw. And a lot of times he'll throw it right to you.
Plummer has thrown 9 interceptions this season. Second interception of the season for Keith Brooking. Now the Falcons with enough time to add to their lead. Vick rolling, looking, heads to the sideline, out of bounds. He picked up 3 on the play, out of bounds at the, making 2, just inside the 44.
Yeah, and with a minute left in the game, great field position for the Broncos. And a great time to, capitalize on it with some points, more points going in at halftime. The silent count comes off the center's head. Watch the center. See that little slide to the side? And then when it comes back to the middle, that's when they go on the snap count. Because the crowd noise on the road has to be controlled by the center. See that head?
Play fake by Vick. On second down, he fires and completes it to Des White.
And a flag.
At the 30-yard line. Check out the flag. But Vick is throwing the ball with confidence. He had an off week last week, 7 for 21.
Illegal contact, defense, number 56. Penalties decline, first down.
14-yard pickup on the pass play will stand. Al Wilson was the man with the illegal contact. But now the Falcons are in scoring position at the Denver 30-yard line. And Vick is getting good protection for a guy who's been sacked 24 times this season. He's getting good protection today. That's Jay Feely, the place kicker.
And his mobility has caused the problems for the Denver defense. And the offense for Atlanta's been staying on the field.
The toss to Dunn, takes it outside, goes right out of bounds. That's a loss on the play. There was nothing there. Good pursuit by the Broncos defense. And he went out of bounds just inside the 32.
And I want you to watch what the bootleg does to a defense. Okay, the play is going to go this way on the toss, but watch Vic. Watch him come backside and see it hold the backside linebacker. The backside linebacker has to sit there and honor that. And that's why if you see him crashing down with the flow to the ball, that's when Vic will take it out the back door next time.
Falcons still have 2 timeouts remaining. On second down.
Here goes.
The play fake, the short throw, and come from in at his knees. And he falls down across the 25-yard line.
I don't get too excited about a lot of things, but what a grab.
Well, Algie Crumpler, one of the best.
He leans down to his toes. He leans down to his toes to pick that up. Heck, I can't even touch my toes.
Sorry about that. You all right?
Yeah.
An accident isn't your best moment. But at State Farm, we'd like to think it's ours. In fact, according to J.D. Power & Associates, customers rated us higher than any other insurance company for collision repair satisfaction.
Yeah, everything's fine. I talked to State Farm.
We know this isn't your best moment, but it's a moment you'll be glad you have a State Farm agent. So call us today.
Jim Mora pulled his team together.
Well, he deserves all the credit for the way his team has responded to the butt kicking they got in Kansas City last week.
Here's third down for the Falcons. The fake toss, Vic running with it. Nothing there. He's down. Al Wilson took him down. Good play by the middle linebacker. Just short of the 25-yard line. It'll bring up a fourth down. As Jim Mora looks up.
Well, he's got a decision to make here.
Tick off. I think you send out the field goal kicking unit.
Well, it's in that area, but I think with the altitude, you kick it. I think with the altitude, you send out your field goal team, you take the points. Absolutely.
After just 2 separate stays at any of these Choice hotels, you'll earn a free night with Choice privileges, and there's no limit to how many nights you can earn.
I've been everywhere.
For reservations, visit choicehotels.com. Choice Hotels. We'll see you there.
Jay Feely has kicked 1 field goal in the game. He's 9 for 9 on the season.
You know, Feely, I was actually talking to him before the game, and he was saying, you know, my coach, Joe DiCamillo, told me, he goes, you're going to love kicking up here. That ball's going to go an extra 15 yards for you. Your kickoffs are going to be in the end zone, and you're going to love the way you're able to get the distance on the field goal.
Chris Moore is the holder. 43-yard attempt is on the way, and it is good. Jay Feely puts 3 more on the board. The Atlanta Falcons cash in the Keith Brooking interception, turn it into 3 points, and now have a 6-point lead. They've scored 17 straight and lead it 20-14.
Is it possible to actually get Wendy's delicious home-style chicken strips home? Those tender strips of whole breast filet just waiting to be dipped in one of our 3 tempting sauces? Yes, but why delay the joy? Try our home-style chicken strips. Wendy's, it's better here. Our pickup window is open till midnight or later.
You guys on the road a lot? Send your wives pictures with Sprint PCS Vision picture phones. Show them you're working hard. Show them your pretty face. Show them that prize bull. Check it out.
More people use Sprint PCS Vision picture phones than any other to easily share unlimited pictures. Now at Sprint stores, buy one starting at $29.99.
Just point and shoot.
We know how to do that.
Sprint PCS. Now that's better.
They got it. That's an onside
kick is recovered by the Falcons.
Now, I don't believe that was an onside kick. I believe with the time, only 16 seconds left, you squib kick it. And you kick it on the ground right down the middle to try to run some time off the clock on the return. But it hit one of the front line men who was backpedaling. Sam, I believe, look, watch this here.
It hit Donnie Spragan.
Right there. It hits him in the back as he's dropping back to get into, his blocking position on the return unit.
Here's Feely's kick. And the Falcons alert for it as it went off Donnie Spragan. And recovers. So the Falcons have the ball at the 46-yard line with a 6-point lead. The special teams unit doing a good job. Vick wants to put it up. Nobody open, goes to the sideline off the hands of Warwick Dunn, incomplete. 10 seconds remaining in the half.
Denver, coming into this game, led the National Football League, Sam, in time of possession. #1 in the National Football League in time of possession. And Atlanta was 32nd, the worst. Thus far this game, you can see who's got the edge. They've reversed roles in this dramatically. And I think that's the telltale sign of what's happening in the game. Mike Vick getting out of the pocket and completing passes early has really deflated and taken the wind out of the sails of the Denver defense.
3 wide receivers in, short drop by Vick, and he runs. Vick splits through a couple of men, dives down. Do they have time? They call timeout with 1 second to go.
And they're in field goal
they will
position
have
again.
Chance at a field goal. As Vick takes off and gets down to the 31-yard line. 24-yard run.
Watch him squirm through here. Watch him come right up and through here. That's outstanding.
What a run. What quickness. And great vision when he runs.
Look at President of mine. Look at that presence. Of knowing the time, knowing how much, and then he dove down and called a timeout with 1 second left. Time to give him another opportunity to score here.
He's rushed for 94 yards in the first half. Wow. What a weapon.
As I said before, Atlanta Falcons offensive unit, Greg Knapp, Jim Moore, putting and installing things that he does well.
And now a 49-yard attempt for Jay Feely to end the first half and up the lead. And it misses. He hooked it left. So the Broncos guilty of mistakes in the second quarter. The Falcons with a good bounce back. They go to the locker room with a 6-point lead, 20-14. The Visa halftime report is next.
Now, how did the Lions get their name anyway?
Well, JB, when the pioneers settled this region, they used prides of lions to protect their corn. This whole region was crawling with them.
Terry, hide that sandwich.
Fox NFL Sunday, live from Detroit next week. During GMC's
4% of you said yes. Only 16% said no. So for 17,000 folks who voted on that one. Now we come back to talk about this Atlanta and Denver game. Mr. Karnak, take it away.
Cannot play quarterback. Too short. Not very accurate. Who is Michael Vick of the Atlanta Falcons, says Jimmy Johnson.
Karnak Jr. says, which one of these two teams is extremely overrated and who's the real deal?
Oh.
The yak next to me said Atlanta was in fact overrated.
I don't know. I'm not sure, but maybe both ways.
Hey, wait. I love Michael Vick.
Who is Howie Long?
I got to tell you, buddy, I've seen some marriages crash.
You are the worst.
And I don't think that Michael Vick marriage is happening.
Are you ever going to say anything out here on this desk?
I want to see Vick get the ball to the receiver.
America, I know you got a lot out of that halftime. Visa halftime continues.
It's all football. It's all good.
I like the way we're playing on offense right now. We're moving the ball well. You know, after that first drive on defense, we've settled down a little bit, and It's going to be a heck of a second half here.
17 unanswered points. How about the resiliency of your team after what happened last week and falling behind early today?
Well, I've said all along that this team has great character, and I think we're showing it today. Regardless of what happens in the second half, I think people have to understand that we're a great character team, and that's what I really like about us.
You're watching Fox Sports, broadcasting at 720p, the world's finest high-definition standard with Dolby 5.1.
During GMC's Truck Fest, take advantage of a great selection of professional-grade GMC SUVs.
Two interceptions, and we stopped ourselves. We've got to slow down Michael Vick.
Michael Vick, an impressive performance. What can you do to slow him down in the second half?
And the only way you got a chance to have gap control, and he's making some plays after we stopped their running game, and so we're just going to have to pick it up a notch and get a lot more guys pursuing the ball.
All right, Coach, best of luck in the second half. Let's throw it back upstairs.
Thanks, Dave. Well, the Denver Broncos guilty of mistakes in that first half, and of course, as Mike Shanahan talked about Michael Vick, he's had 130 yards passing, 95 yards rushing, Bill.
Well, he's taking it to him, but they've responded well. They being, of course, the Atlanta Falcons, just from a character standpoint, Sam. Last week, getting, humiliated in front of Kansas City fans, NFL rushing record, 8 touchdowns against their defense. And as I said before, when that happens in the rushing department, it really challenges your manhood. And so they've responded back. The other aspect of it is that Denver's turnovers and the points off of those turnovers could have been 13. They're at 10 right now. They missed that field goal going in at halftime. But points off turnovers have been key in this. Denver Broncos have played 6 games on Halloween Day prior to this one and are 1-5 on those Halloween games, Sam.
Mike Knorr kicking off. Alan Rossum from the 1. Finds an opening. Rossum. Mike Knorr slowed him down, and he's caught from behind by Nate Jackson. But Alan Rossum with a 39-yard return gives the Falcons excellent field position. This was close to going all the way. He found the seam.
And
Nate Jackson got him from behind.
Well, their special teams coach is a dandy. They've got great coverage units, great return units. Of course, Rossum in punt returns leads the NFL. And they're leading the NFL in coverage units as well. They're outstanding.
From the 40, Vick off the play fake outside to Justin Griffith. And he's got a couple of yards on the play. His third pickup. We're talking about Joe DeCamillis.
That's who I'm talking about. Joe DeCamillis, right there, the special teams coach for the Atlanta Falcons. Spent years with Dan Reeves here in Denver. Well, that's his father, Tony DeCamillis, and he owns a shop. He owns a shop, a deli shop, right in the south end zone here.
And you went to it, right?
Uncle Angelo's. No, before the game, I was talking to Joe down there by the bleachers, and his dad came down, and he introduced me to him, and of course his dad went up and got me some sausage sandwiches. And you know you're going to make air when you give the broadcaster some sausage sandwiches, especially this one.
Warwick Dunn got a couple of yards, bring up a 3rd and 5.
I'm easy.
We know that. The second half begins with John Lynch still on the sideline, still out from that injury. Nick Ferguson is replacement.
Well, I'll tell you, and that's lost. Yeah, you better believe it is, because he's down there in that run department. But that happened on a Mike Vick scramble. And when Mike Vick is scrambling, the receivers turn into blockers.
3 wide receivers in. Vick rushed and sacked. The blitz by the middle linebacker, Al Wilson.
Flag down. Late flag, too, Sam.
Flag on the play.
A very late flag.
Looks like a holding call.
Yep. That thing was late.
Holding. Defense. Number 35. 5-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Bad penalty on Lenny Walls.
Costly boy.
First down for the Falcons. Automatic. San Diego leading big over Oakland.
Look at Mike.
Denver at 5-2. San Diego at 4-3 in the AFC West race.
I don't know if you want to be on the receiving end of that look.
Two tight ends in. Crumpler in motion. Vick throwing to Crumpler. And And he rambles his way across the 40 down to the 38-yard line. His 5th catch of the game, 29 on the season. He came into the game 3rd in the NFC, 6th in the NFL amongst tight ends. Atlanta Falcons have scored only 7 points in the 3rd quarter all season long. That was last week when Allen Rossum had a 75-yard punt return. Dunn and Griffith in the backfield. Warwick Dunn wanted to cut it back, but he was stopped by Anton Palapoy.
You know, when you close that fast at the end position, and that's basically what you have to do on the run. Watch Anton Palapoy right here. Watch him closing down the line of scrimmage. See that? Now, watch Mike Vick out the back door here. There's no end for containment. So that's what they look for upstairs, Sam. That's what the coordinator looks for. So next time they call it, they'll call a boot because they saw that end come crashing down.
Play fake. Vick has time and completes to Crumpler, who stays on his feet. Algie Crumpler down to the 20-yard line.
Algie Crumpler's having a huge day.
He's tough to match up with.
Well, you look, especially when you look that he's getting on the safeties here. He's getting matched up with the safeties and not the linebackers. He's a matchup problem as you're finding around the league in the tight end position. We're talking about guys like the guy down in San Diego. You're talking about the guy in Kansas City and Gonzalez. You're talking. I mean, everybody seems to have one of these tight ends. Jeremy Shockey in New York, and they're big enough that they can block and take on a linebacker, and they're fast enough and can overpower a safety.
There goes Vick by himself inside the 10. Hit hard by Nick Ferguson, the safety at the 6-yard line. But Michael Vick is now over 100 yards rushing in the game.
Let's go back 2 plays. Let's go back 2 plays to Anton Palapoy and crashing down the line of scrimmage to take on the run fake. See the run? Now, he's out the back door. Remember I told you they were upstairs looking, and they study the end. They want to see how the end is playing that run. And if he comes crashing down hard inside, then the next time they run it, they'll run the bootleg off it. That's exactly what they did there with Vick.
On 1st and goal, Warwick Dunn through the middle to the goal line, and he is in. Touchdown. The Atlanta Falcons take the opening kickoff of the second half and march 60 yards for the touchdown.
There's Alex Gibbs. He's the one that installed this offense here in Denver and also in Atlanta in his first year. Now, do you remember the last play on the? Now watch him be hesitant right in here. See how hesitant the backside is and the linebacker and the end? They're hesitant because they just got burned by Vick in the bootleg and won't come crashing down the line of scrimmage to make the tackle.
5-yard run for Warwick Dunn.
That's the dilemma that zone and zone boot does to you. And see, that's how they celebrate there.
7 touchdown runs on the season for Warwick Dunn. Michael Vick set it up with his running.
He did.
And the Atlanta Rosen and Moss lookalikes in the crowd. Jay Feely kicks off. Atlanta with 24 unanswered points. Rock Alexander on the return, and he is taken down by Brian Scott. Michael Vick has rushed for 110 yards. It's his 4th career 100-yard rushing game that ties the NFL record held by Billy Gilmer.
Extra large pizza from Pizza Hut. 30% bigger than our large for $9.99. 30% more satisfying Pizza Hut pizza. The new Full House XL pizza. It feeds them till they're full.
If you're just joining us, this has been quite a game. Denver got off to a 14-3 lead, had touchdowns on their first 2 possessions. Then the Falcons have responded, led by Michael Vick's passing and running. On 1st down, Ruben Drones up to the 29-yard line. He picked up 4 on the play. Some of the highlights of the game. Jake Plummer finding Patrick Haight. Short touchdown. Then on 1st down, an 80-yard touchdown pass to Rod Smith. But then the Falcons took over in the second quarter. T.J. Duckett finishing off a drive with a 21-yard touchdown run. Michael Vick finding Peerless Price. Second touchdown reception by a Falcon wide receiver. Drones is pulled down at the 30. There's a flag on the play. Falcons defense, which was torn apart last week in Kansas City, has really responded with a good effort since the first two possessions.
Oh, they sure have. The first two possessions, as you said, Sam, were for touchdowns by the Broncos.
Holding. Offense. Number 50. 10-yard penalty. Second down.
It's Ben Hamilton, the left guard, called for the hold.
And, you know, I think it shows and tells a lot of the story and about a lot of the character that the Atlanta Falcons have. On the road, against a team that you don't see very often. Most of the guys and the coaches were walking around the stadium looking at it the first time they've ever seen it up close. And a team in which, you know, mirrors your team. And I think defensively they've settled in on what they're doing. Because as I said, Alex Gibbs installed this running game in Denver years ago. Well, he's just brought it down to Atlanta, and this Atlanta defense has seen it every day in training camps out of their own offense.
Out of the shotgun, Jake Plummer. Throwing deep and completing to Ashley Lilly. It's a first down up at the 38-yard line.
Well, Mike Shanahan thought that he could get some yards on Webster, whether it be with Rod Smith or Ashley Lilly. They just thought that, you know, you look at the other side, and he said himself, he said, heck, I'm not going to challenge D'Angelo Hall. D'Angelo Hall is a big-time player. We think he's a shutdown corner type guy, and we're not even going to go really look that way. We're going to go the other way. We're going to go Webster, and we're also going to look at the middle of the field, being that Corey Hall, the safety's out. We think we can do some things and create some matchup problems, and that's where they've had their success.
They stopped the play, false start against the Broncos. I'm a little surprised by that, Bill.
False start, offense, number 62, 5-yard penalty, first down.
That's on Dan Neal, because D'Angelo Hall's a rookie playing in only his second game in his first start.
Well, don't be surprised. That ought to be a huge statement to you. You know, that really ought to say a lot. When a guy like Mike Shanahan has that much respect for a rookie corner who has been out, and this would be his first start, he saw enough of them just in the preseason games. He saw enough of them in college, and he had them ranked so high up there that they have a lot of respect at him. One time they've gone at him, and I'd be surprised if they go at him much more.
Plummer still has it, waiting, throwing, wide open Rod Smith. Was he inbounds?
I believe so.
He was. The official says yes, he was inbounds. And he's out of bounds at the Falcons' 36-yard line.
This is close, but look at possession, and then watch the 2 feet. Possession. Whoa.
What do you think? Did he have enough?
I don't believe he had it.
Was he bobbling?
They're going to try to get the snap off quick before there's a challenge.
Well, Atlanta decides to challenge.
Look at Mike. There's the challenge. Mike.
Mike Shanahan talking to one of the officials. Terry McCauley going over the other sideline.
Mike, he was sitting there, and he was trying to get the play off. Get your offense, when you have something close like that, you get your offense out to the line of scrimmage in a hurry, and you get a snap off quick, because you try to get it before they challenge.
Atlanta has challenged, and we'll be right back.
Smart move, Atlanta.
My dad calls it being spawned.
Coaches' challenges from 1999 to 2003 for Atlanta, 4 for 29. Jamora challenging this one here.
Well, this is close, because right here, does he have possession?
That's the key.
Is that possession right there? Is that 1 foot, and is that 2?
And is that enough evidence to overturn it? We'll find out.
After review, the receiver did not step out of bounds while he's running on the sideline. It was a completed catch. The ruling on the field stands. Atlanta is charged with their first team timeout.
Rod Smith with the grab.
Here's possession. There's the first foot down, the left foot, and then there's the right foot too. And boy, was that fast. If you run that thing live speed, it looked like he had 1 foot in.
So it's a first down for the Broncos at the 36-yard line. He must be talking to somebody upstairs via the cell phone.
Maybe the communications are down upstairs in the box.
Rod Smith, 4 catches, 138 yards in the game. And the big 80-yarder for a touchdown in the first quarter.
If there's going to be a first in anything, I think Jim Moore.
There you go. Outside, Darius Watts takes it out of bounds at the 30-yard line. Pickup of 6 on the play. Alex Gibbs in front of Jim Mora.
Look at Alex Gibbs' hat. You know, that looks like something off an Old Spice commercial.
No one is as intense as he.
Throw a duffel bag over his shoulder.
2nd and 4, 2 tight ends again for Denver. Ruben Drones makes the turn. Flag on the play. Drones got to the 25-yard line, but let's check out the flag here.
Offense, number 72, 10-yard penalty, 2nd down.
That's on George Foster, a man who was the centerpiece of a lot of controversy Monday night on the cut block, Bill.
Well, yeah.
What did you think of it?
I didn't have a problem with it. Okay. And, you know, I'm a defensive lineman. I played the position. Yes, we got very upset at chop blocks. Chop blocks, for me, or a cut block or a chop or whatever you want to call it, that was an embarrassment to me. If I let somebody get me on the ground and get to my legs, that to me was my fault. I thought I could be faster than them, be away from them, and use my hands to keep them off my legs.
Plummer. Ball is dropped by Darius Watts.
And a lot of it, Sam, is laziness. An offensive lineman, you know, when you're 350 pounds, you know, it's easier to go down to the ground right there than it is to tie up with you and use your legs and your whole core of your frame and your arms and everything part of the game. I believe it's up to the individuals on the field to police it.
Plummer steps up in trouble. Wants to stay onside. He throws it out of bounds. Plummer started to run. The Falcons,
I think
he went across the line. He may have gone across the line of scrimmage and pulled back. There's a flag on the play. That's what the Falcons are yelling from the sideline. Illegal forward pass. This will be the 7th penalty of the game against the Denver Broncos.
Illegal forward pass, offense, number 16. The quarterback went beyond the line, returned behind the line and threw the pass. The penalties decline, 4th down.
4th and long. The Broncos have to get to the Falcons' 26-yard line for a first down. And the punting unit comes on. This is only the 2nd punt of the game. Both by the Denver Broncos. Micah Noor. And Alan Rossum is deep, standing at his 10-yard line. Kansas City defeated Indianapolis earlier today.
What a game that was.
Chiefs coming alive with 2 wins back-to-back. The short punt. Rossum lets it drop. The Broncos are there, and they down it at the 2-yard line.
Outstanding coverage.
Rock Alexander, who has terrific speed, got down there to down the ball. 36-yard punt. The Falcons will start deep in their own territory, but they have a 13-point lead.
By Nike and LeBron James. By Visa, proud sponsor of the NFL. Get ready for the game. And by State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
The feet are stomping and the sellout crowd, and they have been sold out every home game since 1970. Broncos are 3-0 this season at home. Falcons start from the 3-yard line. Warwick Dunn finds a big hole and gets up to the 15-yard line. Good block by the fullback. Justin Griffith opened the hole.
Was it ever, Sam? I got to tell you. And this is what you call cutting the defense. When you get your team going this way, okay? Now the defense goes that way. Now watch it get cut right in here. See that? And that's where you keep the backside. Remember the bootleg Mike Vick kept on going to? Well, that kept the backside end at home and not coming down across the face of the tackle to make the play. That's what puts him in the predicament. Where do you go? For Dunn or for Vick?
Here's Dunn. No gain this time.
And that's the same guy.
He picked up 12 on the previous play. Mario Fatafehi made the stop. Dunn has carried 11 times, 28 yards.
There you go. That time he played the run. You take a look at the numbers here. They came into this. Denver was #1 in the NFL. #1 in the NFL in time of possession. Atlanta was number 32 last. Look what they've done in taking over the game and keeping the ball and keeping control of this and keeping the Denver offense on the sidelines.
On second down, the play fake. Vick in trouble. Got away from one man and another, but not that. Fatafehi was able to finish it off. A 5-yard loss back to the 10-yard line. The first sack of the game by the Broncos on Michael Vick.
A Wildcat out of K-State. Is he stoked or what? Well, take out number 68. He just keeps working. He gets a big bull rush. He gets the push, and then his buddies start closing in. There's one miss. There's another, and he's still battling. And finally, he cleans up that whole mess. And for a guy like that who's working and battling and never stops churning, and all of a sudden you see a quarterback right there, boy, what a great feeling.
3 wide receivers in. Falcons have to get to the 26. Go draw play. And Dunn gets back to the line of scrimmage. That's all. Great response by the Broncos defense. Luther Ellis made the tackle.
Great response by the 12th man. And the fans had a lot to do with that stance. The fans got that defense jacked up, and they responded. And now this puts them in good field position to help at least take a chance in turning this game back around.
This is San Diego 35-7 over Oakland. San Diego trying to go 5-3. First punt of the game for Chris Moore. Rod Smith at the 38.
What man job.
Avoids a couple, gets up to the 49. That's a good return by the veteran Rod Smith. The tackle made by Brian Scott. Good field position for the Broncos, who are down by 13 and trying to get back in it. Next week on Fox, early games, big one. Philadelphia at Pittsburgh, Dallas is at Cincinnati, Washington at Detroit. Late games, New Orleans at San Diego, Chicago at the Giants, and Seattle at San Francisco. Plummer on first down completing to Reuben Drones. Gets down to the 42-yard line. He picked up 9 on the play.
Boy, Sam, you talk about that Philadelphia-Pittsburgh game, the way those two teams are playing right now at the halfway point. That's a Super Bowl.
Pittsburgh leading New England 31-10. New England's record winning streak on the line at 21.
Look at those numbers right there for Reuben Drones. 38 yards on the ground today. And I think that kind of correlates with Plummer's success. Plummer today only 12 and 19. But he's got those 2 picks that really hurt him.
Yes. Drones flashing across the 40 for a first down at the 39-yard line. JB's got an update on the AFC.
No more dancing.
Well, no more dancing, but take a look. Jacksonville excelled at the dramatic, pulling out 4 come-from-behind victories. Not to be so today. Byron Leftwich picked off by DeMarcus Fagans. Houston wins its 4th in the last 5 games, upending Jacksonville. And as you indicated, Sam, yes, the Steelers trying their best to knock off the Patriots. And if they do, they'll host Philadelphia next week. Back to Sam and Bill.
Houston 4-3 now. Flags fly before the play gets going. Chad Lavallee
Jake Plummer with the hard count there.
Lavallee jumped across.
Prior to the snap, encroachment, defense, number 94. 5-yard penalty, first down.
The rookie out of LSU, Chad Lavallee, getting a lot of playing time with Rod Coleman out. Jake Plummer, Bill mentioned, threw 2 interceptions. He's thrown 7 interceptions the last 4 games, Bill. And especially the last 2 against Cincinnati and today against Atlanta have really hurt. From the 35. Travis Hall in the defensive end for the Falcons. Plummer fakes. The blitz is picked up. Plummer throws. And he's got his man, Darius Watts. At the 15-yard line, he's shoved out of bounds. It's completed pass.
Well, and there's no question. Look at Webster. Look at the ground he gives Watts. Now, Watts is a burner out of Marshall, and he gets his hips turned that way. When you drive right into a corner and he turns his hips to run with you early, that's when you break it off, and that's exactly what they did, and the whole thing's coming back because of a holding call.
So the Broncos really hurting themselves with a couple of turnovers and several penalties. They're inviting big trouble. They're in trouble now.
Halloween. They struggle on Halloween. Huh?
It could be.
The 7th time they're playing on Halloween, and they're 1-5 in the prior contest.
First down, back at the 45-yard line. Ruben Drone.
Oh, there it is.
Takes it outside. And a flag on the play.
And another flag.
At the 31.
And another holding call on the perimeter. I believe they're going to get Rod Smith outside.
Yep. He can't understand it, but it looks like he's the guy.
Holding. Offense. Number 80. 10-yard penalty. First down.
Look at his hands. His hands are inside. Here's Rod Smith right there. He's in the slot. That's him. Now watch him come down inside. His hands are up inside. Oh, come on.
Oh.
Come on.
I can see where he'd have a question to the official. Meanwhile, the Broncos are set back to their own 49. They have to get to the 30-yard line of Atlanta for a first down. It's the 8th penalty of the game for the Broncos.
Look at it. Look at it.
Oh, boy.
Cool.
Smith went in motion out of the shotgun. Plummer. Plenty of time, threw too high. I think he wanted Ashley Lalee shorter. He was the underneath receiver.
Well, definitely a breakdown in communication on the route and the route runners and the quarterback. There's no question about that, because that ball wasn't thrown to where any of the receivers were.
Take another look here, Bill.
Well, take a look downfield here. You're going to have Lalee, I believe, down deep, and then there's Lalee, and the ball gets thrown behind him. Then Rod Smith is over here, and he's on the go route right down the seams.
There's second down. Blitz picked up. Plummer throwing deep for Lalee, overthrown. It was almost intercepted. D'Angelo Hall had his hands on it. And again, Plummer a little bit off on the throw.
Well, 3rd and 25 isn't, it's not built for many quarterbacks, and I don't think it's one of Jake's best situations to be in. He's not the drop back kind of guy to launch it downfield there with the accuracy. He's more of the boot and roll and control game, and he can make some big plays off your running game when you have to play action. But 3rd and 25 or whatever the heck it is here isn't good for anybody.
Plummer gets time. Now he runs. Purdy all over him, and he throws it away. No one was open initially. Plummer had time, looked downfield, and then protection broke down.
Well, check out where Kearney comes from, too. Kearney comes from the other end. He's coming all the way from the other end, battling, then flattens down the line of scrimmage. When he sees Jake get out of the pocket, well, he closed on him fast.
Atlanta's defense has really responded after the first 2 Denver possessions. Broncos scored the first 2 times they had the ball and led 14-3.
Sam, and don't think for 1 second that Alex Gibbs didn't give their entire defense, the Atlanta Falcons, a breakdown of this offense and how to stop it.
Micah Nord just got it away, bounces on the 20 and goes out of bounds.
He installed this offense with Denver. He took a lot of great pride in building the running years they had here, and it wasn't until he got to Denver that they won a Super Bowl. They went to 3 Super Bowls before he got there. When he got there, they became in the top 2 or 3 rushing in the NFL. And it was about Terrell Davis. And they always say, you know, the run is finally what got him to the Super Bowl. There's the Super Bowl years, 4th and 2nd. And Alex Gibbs was here for it. And he takes a lot of pride in what he built. But he's not here now. And he's putting that offense into Atlanta, and you can see the success that they're having with it. And you know he told Atlanta's defense exactly what to look for in Denver.
Falcons from the 16, the roll by Vick. With Griffith with him, he dropped it off and threw it a little behind Justin Griffith. Had a twist for it and went through his arms. Incomplete. San Diego destroying Oakland. The Chargers looking to go 5-3, and if Denver doesn't rally, they'll be tied for first place with the Chargers in the AFC West at the midway point of the season. Michael Vick, 163 yards passing, 110 yards running.
You know what? That's a defensive nightmare. I'm telling you, that is Freddy Krueger from Nightmare on Elm Street today. When you get those numbers, you'll kill a defense.
TJ Duckett, not much there. Denver's defense responds. Maybe a yard pickup on the play to the 18. Kelly Herndon leading the defensive charge.
That is Mike Myers from Halloween. That is Chucky from the Doll movie.
You up late last night watching Halloween movies?
I'm talking as a defensive player.
Yeah, I hear you.
And see, when you have 10 guys on offense, that's what normal offenses have. So you have 11 guys on defense that compete against 10 guys on offense because the quarterback doesn't do anything. In this offense, Mike Vick, well, it's 11 on 11 and he's winning.
Vick looking, nobody open.
There he goes.
He's down to the
He's got a man open.
Worry finds Michael Jenkins, his first NFL catch. He runs down the sideline. Did he step out of bounds? Yes. He stepped out of bounds back at the 36-yard line. But the rookie, first-round draft pick, Michael Jenkins, with his first NFL catch, and it's a big one.
I don't know how you coach this. They've been through the ups and downs of this, but Mike Vick is going to drop back and watch him. He's going to go through his progressions. 1, 2, 3, nothing. Now it's Mike Vick's show. Now he's going to freelance. He's going to get out of the pocket. Coverages are going to break down, and when you have that much time, when you extend a play that long, from the time he left the pocket till he threw the ball, he extended the play another 3 seconds. And in 3 seconds, coverage breaks down, receivers get behind defensive backs, and there's the big play.
46-yard pickup. First down at the Broncos 36. TJ Duckett straight ahead. He pulls his way inside the 30-yard line. Ellis Johnson, the former Atlanta Falcon, made the stop on TJ Duckett. The Falcons' offense scored for the first time this season in the third quarter. They put 7 on the board, and they have widened their lead. We reach the end of the third quarter. Big bounce-back game for Atlanta. They lead the Denver Broncos 27-14. A 46-yard pickup on third down has put the Falcons in scoring position, and their third down conversions, their best of the season, Bill.
It's amazing what they've been able to do. And I think it started, Sam, right from the get-go from the first quarter. They came out the first play with a pass from Mike Vick to get him going, to get his confidence up. Then they instilled and installed some run plays from the quarterback position this week.
Vick takes the toss, rolls, and runs for the first down. Tripped up by Kelly Herndon. He's down at the 24-yard line.
That's one of the run plays they installed this week. You know, you have to go back, and I think for the coaches, when you have a unique athlete like you have in Mike Vick, you try to draw the parallels. You don't want to take away that athleticism from him because you can see what it's done to a defense. But at the same time, there comes points in the game when he has to learn the pocket passing game. So you try to teach that. and you try to want to emphasize one without losing the other. I think they lost it the last 2 weeks. I think they've got it back this week.
Vick looking deep to the end zone. Touchdown, Fearless Price with a brilliant catch. And the Falcons widen the lead. A perfect throw by Vick, but a tremendous catch by Fearless Price, his second touchdown catch of the game and his second of the season. 25-yard touchdown for the Falcons, who have now scored 30 unanswered points and are about to make it 31. They were down 14-3. John Lynch has been out injured since earlier in the game, and his loss has been felt by the Broncos.
And the fourth quarter for Denver has been their least scoring quarter thus far this year.
Fearless Price against Kelly Herndon. Nice grab. Nice pass from Mike Vick. He's thrown the touchdown passes to Fearless.
First day. Nervous?
Sunday is brought to you by Hummer. Check out the H2. Hummer like nothing else. By Wendy's Homestyle Chicken Strips. Another reason it's better here. By DirecTV Sports in 100% digital quality. DirecTV Sports' biggest fan. And by Michelob Ultra. Lose the carbs, not the taste.
Fearless Price, 2 touchdown catches today, his first 2 of the season. 5 now in 24 games with the Atlanta Falcons. Capped off an 83-yard drive. 6 plays, 83 yards. Feely kicks off.
He even looks shocked, Sam.
Rock Alexander takes it at the 5. Slips one man and is brought down at the 27-yard line. First touchdown. First fourth quarter touchdown the Broncos have given up this season. Next week, the NFL pregame show, the best there is, goes on the road to Detroit. JB, Terry, Howie, and Jimmy in Motown.
With us.
Preceding the game between the Lions and the Redskins, but they'll have a close look at the big matchup between the Eagles and the Steelers. Dallas is at Cincinnati. Those are the early games. Late games, New Orleans at San Diego, Chicago at the Giants, and Seattle on the road as well. Now the Broncos need to mount a huge comeback. Reuben Drones gets up to the 30-yard line. Earlier today, the Giants, after a loss last week, went into Minnesota, took a 34-0 lead before the Vikings scored. Randy Moss was injured in that game, playing hurt early and then came out, did not play in the second half. 2 interceptions thrown by Dante Culpepper. And the Giants are 5-2. Plummer being rushed, throws, almost caught by Dwayne Carswell, and then the ball missed off the hands of Carswell.
Jake made that throw as he was getting dumped. I mean, watch Jake Plummer. First of all, Lavallee 94 is going to come with the pressure, but watch him make this throw. He makes that throw, so he's going backwards.
Lavallee playing with a broken hand, using his hands better than he did last week in Kansas City. 3rd down. 3 wide receivers in, and Plummer works out of the shotgun. Sends it out to Reuben Drones. Drones dives close to the 1st down line. It'll be very close. 1st down marker is around the 37. The ball spotted on the line, and that should be enough.
You know, Jake Plummer, he can throw the ball anywhere. He throws it sidearm, on the run, back across his body, leaping in the air, and you saw him make that throw as he was getting dumped and driven backwards. And he attributed this all to handball. He played handball all off season with his dad and his brothers. Now, they're on teams. They're in tournaments. They went up to Idaho, where his dad was an all-state champion. Idaho champion handball player. But him playing that handball, he says, really he's got flexibility and strength in his rotator cuff to throw the ball from anywhere.
Here he throws, and it's incomplete. Intended for Jeff Putsier. Broken up by Kevin Mathis. Fans getting on the Broncos a little bit. Most points that the Broncos have given up in a game this season.
And that handball and all the training and everything else the Broncos do offensively really needs to come to a head right now, because they're trailing here pretty drastically. They've only scored, Sam, 23 points in the fourth quarter in all of the prior games this season. They're going to need 23 points right now to win this thing.
Blitz coming. Plummer gets rid of it. Finds Rod Smith. Beautiful grab by Rod Smith. And he's down to the Atlanta 36-yard line where Brian Scott took him down. Smith has had a big game. 29-yard pickup, his 5th catch of the game.
And, you know, there's one thing about Jake Plummer.
I'm sorry, Bill, go ahead.
Is that this guy, in comebacks, it ranks up there, I think, with the best of them. Not always the flashiest, but his results are impeccable.
Short drop, completes to Smith again. Stayed on his feet long enough to get a first down. He's down at the Atlanta 21. Rod Smith with 6 catches in the game, and he is close to 180 yards.
There are so many people that have, you know, made fun of Jake, called him names, said this and that about him. I don't think they know much about football, and I don't think they know much about a competitor, because this guy is a fierce competitor. Since 1995, look at those numbers, folks. Most comeback wins.
Ruben Drones runs into a pile. No gain on the play.
And you know where most of those came from? In a lonely place called Arizona, where, you know, for years, it's been a tough place to win. And this guy in the fourth quarter, I've seen him just take over a game. And there's, you know, you talk about that it with the quarterback. He has it, or the X factor, or whatever they say. He's a guy that people rally around. And those other 10 guys in the huddle believe in his competitive spirit.
3 wide receivers. Smith goes in motion. Blitz coming again.
Oh, he's got the post.
In trouble. He runs. Looking downfield, throws it in the end zone, and actually threw it away.
Oh, boy, he had Rod Smith on the post.
But he didn't have time to get rid of it.
No, he couldn't, because the pressure got there. Here's Rod Smith. I want you to watch. He's going to run the post pattern right in here, and he's going to be open. But the rush gets there. Watch him get behind the safety right in here. See that? That thing is open in there, and the pressure got there from the defensive line. He couldn't get that ball off.
Now a big 3rd and long.
Rod Smith has run a couple of those deep routes now, catching fast. Looks like he's sucking some oxygen, huh?
6 catches, 180 yards for Rod Smith. On 3rd and 9. Plummer works out of the shotgun. 3 wide receivers. Plummer throws and hits Darius Watts to the 6-yard line, where he is hauled back by 4 Falcons, but it's a first down for the Denver Broncos. D'Angelo Hall and Brian Scott stopping Darius Watts.
I want you to watch these 2, the slot receivers. This is going to be double slants. And watch all the players, the Falcons players, converge on Rod Smith. Look at the traffic he draws, and then there's the open route with Watts. And you know, you kind of set those things up. You hit Smith to get 3 times to get you down to this point in the field. People are going to congregate around him.
Plummer handing it off, nothing there. Ruben Drones has had a tough game. Falcons have done a good job stopping the run game. Drones has run for only 45 yards in the game.
Well, what they've done, Sam, is they know that Ruben Drones is a fullback, and he can't get to the perimeter. So he wants to cut it back up inside. So they're playing Ruben Drones, see here, and not out here. See, there's nobody out here. You see that? All the bodies are inside because Ruben Drones is a fullback. He can't get to the perimeter. So there's really not a threat of him.
3 wide receivers in on 2nd and goal. Drones went out. Outside of Darius Watts. Any times. Touchdown. His first NFL touchdown. The rookie Darius Watts making a couple of big catches on the drive by the Denver Broncos. He went up against Jason Webster. They've been going at Webster a good portion of the game.
Yes, they have.
So a streak of 31 consecutive points by the Falcons is broken as the Broncos score for the first time since their second possession of the game. Jason Elam for the extra point. The Falcons' lead is 13. Still a lot of time remaining. 11 plays, 73 yards. Plummer to Watts.
When you're looking inside the quarterback, they call that peeking in the kitchen. And when you're peeking in the kitchen looking for a cookie, Mama's going to smack that hand.
So we have NFL Sunday.
Passes thrown his way. They've gotten 2 touchdowns.
Well, you don't play the game long if you don't have rough nights. And that certainly is a rough one.
Rossum from the 1. Rain has started falling here in Denver. Little slip by Rossum, but stayed on his feet. Good return up to the 34-yard line. With the rain falling, Atlanta will try to protect that lead.
I hate being sold. If I want something, I'll buy it. If I don't, okay. One time I got talked into buying this linen bed skirt. It's a sales girl. But something that costs thousands of dollars? I don't want to be sold something like that. I want to choose something like that. I hate being sold. That's why I bought a Saturn.
Now most Saturn models come with 5-year, 60,000-mile extended vehicle coverage or at least a $1,000 allowance.
HP services and technology help the world's great companies face, manage, and love change. HP. Invent.
I've got the world on a...
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Saturn. People first.
Some of the sights and sounds of Halloween Sunday in Denver. Now the Falcons start from the 39. Fearless Price in motion. Vick still has it. Rolling, looking, throwing, completing. Algie Crumpler takes a huge hit from Kanoy Kennedy at the 49, but it's a first down rather from Nick Ferguson.
Nick Ferguson, yeah.
A career-high 7 catches for Algie Crumpler.
As the weather starts to drop, Sam, take a listen. These are the kind of hits that go right to your bones.
Michael Vick now 17 of 22 in the game. First down at the Broncos 49. Vick is thrown for 246 yards. Warwick Dunn.
Oh, nice bounce.
He keeps going. He's not a big man, but he keeps fighting for extra yards. He's down to the 45-yard line.
Yeah, Denver drastically needs to take the ball away. And that's something Larry Cord talked about coming into this.
But they're way down in takeaways all season long.
Down. -5 on the ratio coming into today's game. And it must have gotten worse with the 2 interceptions from Jake Plummer. They need to strip the ball on tackling. If Atlanta's going to line up and play a 4-minute type offense with you and just kind of pound you, even though there's 8 minutes left, I realize that. But a 4-minute style where you just keep pounding you with the run, then defensively you've got to strip the ball.
It's Warwick Dunn for a couple of yards just inside the 44. Champ Bailey came up to make the stop. The Broncos, with 1 takeaway today, have 7 all season. And that's one thing that Mike Shanahan told us must be improved in the second half of the season.
Everybody knows that follows football is that not many winning teams are minus in the takeaway ratio, the turnover ratio. And it'll catch up to you at some point.
Have to get to the 39 for first down. The 3 wide receivers in. Vic throws behind Brian Finneran. There was pressure on Michael Vick that time. And for the first time in the game, the Atlanta Falcons go 3 and out.
Well, look at Vic had red. Look at his Vic jersey. He's got grass stains. He's got blood. He's got dirt. And then I want you to take a look at the punter in his uniform. Is this his first punt or second, Sam?
Second
punt? Yeah.
Want to correct myself. That wasn't a 3 and out. They had the first down earlier.
This is where the equipment guy saves some time in washing that jersey.
Chris Moore, way up in the air. Rod Smith waves for a fair catch. Takes it at the 18-yard line. So the Falcons have not gone 3 and out in the game. 26-yard punt, no return. Jake Plummer trying to mount that comeback. He needs 2 touchdowns.
So he put on that visor. See that visor right there? He put that on last week. Well, now he took it off. He said he couldn't see anything last week. And when he'd run, he'd get grass all stuck up in it. And then he had to drop back and try to find somebody. He just said it was blurry all the time.
Plummer on first down out of the shotgun. Dropped by Jeff Putsier, the tight end. He started a run before he had it secured. Incomplete. Jake Plummer has thrown for 330 yards in the game.
You know, I'm not going to say that that visor was all the problems last week for the Atlanta Falcons, because that visor didn't line up on defense to give up all those rushing yards. However, if the visor was a problem in the passing game and he had it on when they were blitzing him and wasn't able to get them out of the blitz, and it's off now, he did an outstanding job today.
Blitz coming. It's picked up. Plummer completes to Rod Smith. Fights his way up to the 24-yard line. A couple of yards short of the first down. Will bring up a third down. Brian Scott did a good job on Rod Smith, who has caught 7 passes today.
You know, when you talk about Rod Smith, talking with him on Friday, Sam, it was just enjoyable, you know?
Oh, yeah.
To see a guy of the structure he is. He said, hey, where did you mold your game after? Who helped you? He said, help me. He said, I stole. He said, I stole something from every great wide receiver that ever played.
Plummer on third down. The pass intended for Ashley Lalee is incomplete. So, fourth down. Big game for Rod Smith.
He said he'd watch routes of all the receivers, everything. Still does today. Puts on film to rookie receivers, sees something he might like. He'll give it a try. No, I see the way he does that, or runs that route, or does this, or lines up. How he gets off a jam. He says, I've been stealing stuff since the day I got in this league, and I'm still stealing stuff.
And now they need him to come through. They need Plummer to come through. They're going for it on fourth down and 4. Plummer with time. He throws complete to Darius Watts. And the rookie has had a big game. First down at the 35. 5th catch of the game for Darius Watts. Hurry up offense for the Broncos.
Rod Smith is tired, too. He was sucking air. He tapped his helmet to come out, and they went, hurry up. He had to stay in.
Empty backfield. Plummer gets time, completes to Watts again. Up to the 40. Pickup of 5 on the play.
Darius Watts is putting on a show.
Second-round draft pick out of Marshall. With an outstanding game. Low snap. Plummer handles it. Waiting for someone to come open. Now he heaves it downfield for Ashley Lalee, but it's out of bounds. And a flag on the play.
I was waiting. I was going to say, when the heck was that going to come out?
Lalee and McAdam were bumping one another.
What he did, Sam, is he cut off the receiver's route. And when you step in front and take down, that flag was late as heck.
Very late.
It was extremely late.
And you can see the reaction of Jim Mora. See, Morris says it was uncatchable. So here's the big discussion.
Well, I also think you need to look at the sidelines. And on the route, did Lalee ever step out of bounds?
There's no foul for defensive pass interference.
All right, after further discussion.
Okay, now there's the scramble and Lalee's going to take off down the sidelines. Appears to be fine. Now he's trying to, now see right there, he disrupts the route.
But was the ball uncatchable, Bill? It looked like it was. That ball was a couple of yards out of bounds.
Well,
and I think that had something to do with the discussion and the decision to pick up the flag.
It's hard to tell at that angle, Sam. It looked like it went out of bounds. But if you can continue to run that route to get to where the ball was out of bounds, it's, heck, wide receivers jump up there all the time and make those snags.
3rd and 5 for Denver. Empty backfield again with 3 wide receivers. Plummer in trouble. He's hit as he throws. It's incomplete. Brings up another 4th down. And Jake took a big hit from Patrick Kearney.
Well, here's Kearney right here. He's on the outside. He comes up, then underneath. That's called Texas. Texas El Paso stunts. And you see who was in the tackle position on his side? That was Brady Smith. Brady Smith lined up at tackle. Kearney was at end, and they ran a stunt where the tackle went first to the outside. Kearney upfield, then back underneath. And that was the pressure.
There's 4th down. Same formation. Everybody out. Pressure on Plummer. He throws off the hands of Ashley Lalee. There's a flag on the play. Plummer went down. Was he hit late? Roughing the passer. 1st down, Denver.
15-yard penalty. Automatic. 1st down.
That's horrible. Watch the hands come up to the face at the end of this. Jake steps up in the pocket and throws, and there's a shot to the head by the rookie, DeMario Williams. And you talk about, I don't like to use the word, but stupid mistake.
Vicious hit, way late.
That's as bad as you can get at this point in the game on 4th down, giving them an opportunity at all in their home stadium.
1st down, Denver at the Atlanta 45. Plummer gets time, completes it short. Rod Smith with a career high in receiving yards, gets down to the 34-yard line.
Hurry up offense.
On 1st down, Plummer again, outside too high for Rod Smith that time. Rod Smith, 8 catches, 197 yards, a career high.
And I'm telling you, Rod Smith is exhausted. And Jake, he may have thrown this ball over his head, but maybe the timing of the routes in which he usually throws that, Smith is there. Smith has been doing a lot this game. He's been running a ton of patterns, and just watch him. Look, he is dragging.
But the Broncos have to find a way. 3 wide receivers in. Plummer steps away from pressure. Wide open Darius Watts. Inside the 10, down to the 8-yard line. The rookie is having a big game with 7 catches.
And it was Rod Smith who had to run the clearing route out of the slot position, Sam, for Darius Watts. All the attention went with Smith when he ran the seam to the skinny post, and Darius Watts was underneath of it.
1st and goal at the 8-yard line. Plummer looking, nobody open. Plummer throws, and the ball's out of bounds, incomplete. Diving attempt by Ashley Lalee with D'Angelo Hall covering on the play.
I was talking about the play before when Smith was so tired. He runs that skinny post right in here, and what it does is everybody bites up on it over the top, and underneath is Darius Watts. See that they had to honor that skinny post. And Rod Smith, you come into this game, you're studying all this film. I mean, he's the man. So you respect that, you have to honor that, and all of a sudden you don't see too much of Watts, and he becomes a big-time player this game, and there he was underneath.
Watson Smith left, Lalee right on 2nd and goal. Plummer to the corner, blocked by Darius Watts. He made the move on Jason Webster, but it fell incomplete, brings up 3rd and goal. For the Broncos, Jake Plummer has thrown for 389 yards and 3 touchdowns.
And here's Rod Smith again. Watch him break this off underneath and watch them jump on this. See them jump on it? That creates the one-on-one outside. Rod Smith again being used as a decoy, enabling Darius Watts to get in position on a one-on-one on the fade.
4 wide receivers in for Denver as Nate Jackson has come in. Plummer rolling. Gets a block and is down at the 7-yard line. Picked up a yard on the play. They tried to fool him, but the Falcons were not fooled by that play.
No, they were not.
D'Angelo Hall made the tackle, and Denver calls timeout. Plummer wanted to get to the corner. The Falcons had it smoked out and stopped them. With as little time remaining as there is. Here's 4th and goal from the 7. 3 wide receivers. Drones and Putsier also in. Here comes the blitz. Almost got him into the end zone.
Nope,
it hit the ground. The rookie Darius Watts may have taken a step too many and too deep. The ball fell to the ground. And the Falcons feel that it's over. There's still 3:53 remaining.
That's not what they felt. What they felt was that was a heck of a risk. That was a risky call. They left everybody one-on-one on the outside, and look how many they bring. Look at them all coming from everywhere.
And look at Watts. And it went off his hands.
He was open.
I almost thought he misjudged it a little bit.
Oh, yeah, he did. And Jake, underthrew the thing as well because he had that blitz in his face. It was the pressure of the blitz coming, Sam, that didn't enable Jake to get enough on the ball.
So now the Falcons. T.J. Duckett carries. There's a flag on the play. As Duckett gets up to the 12-yard line.
Flag down.
We'll check out the flag. It's against the Falcons for holding. Atlanta Falcons trying to go 6-2 for the first time since 1998. That was the year they went to the Super Bowl and met the Denver Broncos. And the Broncos won Super Bowl 33. Mike Shanahan looking at a 2-game losing streak and a tie for first place in the AFC West with the San Diego Chargers, who won big against Oakland today.
And with a rushing attack that just ate up the last couple of weeks with Reuben Jones. With Drones, he only 44 yards today, Sam.
After 3 100-plus games. JB's got some updates for us. Let's join him right now. JB.
Well, Sam and Bill, Carolina trying to come back, make it a game. Take a look at DeLone dropping back. Drills this bullet here to Muhsin Muhammad. They called it a touchdown, fellas. You know what? We're going to go with it. They give him the score. It is now 23-16 with 1:49 left in regulation. They made the extra point. Let's take it back to Sam and Bill.
10 times better. John Madden everything.
Earlier today, Philadelphia made it 7 straight wins. The Giants won. That's the race in the NFC East. Dallas won as they beat Detroit. Washington lost to Green Bay. Jake Plummer disappointed and a little shaken up. He's hurting on the sideline.
Yeah, he got whacked on that blitz. And, I think for Mike Shanahan, he's going to have to go back and reevaluate the running back position and the running game because of all the changes they've had.
They have a big game against Houston here next week. Right here. The Broncos use their final timeout.
The defense is stepping up right now. Critical 3rd down here. Another opportunity to get the ball back with good field position possibly.
Jim Moore talking to special teams coordinator Joe DeCamillis about what will probably be a very important punt Greg Knapp, his offensive coordinator, to his left. He was all pumped up. Got knocked down by his defensive coordinator, Ed Donatel, after the big stop on 4th down.
And you see where you get the excitement in this team. A team that lost it maybe the last couple of years. I mean, they really have a shot of enthusiasm, and I think it's directly due to him and the emotion level he carries with him at all times.
Vick throwing short to Brian Finneran. He's hit hard up the 16-yard line. And coming up short of the first down line. Chris Moore will be coming on the field. The punting unit getting set to take the field. Letting the clock run down as much as they can here. It'll be 4th and 1. Just taking as much time as they can off the clock. And they'll call the timeout right now. So Jim Mora lets time tick off. We'll send out his punting unit. Denver is out of timeouts. It's been a big day for Michael Vick, his best of the season. His running brilliant.
It started off early, Sam, too. They came out quick with a pass over the middle and a drop back and a roll and a boot. Then they installed this week some quarterback keeps and some bootleg keeps to do what Mike Vick does best and make him feel confident about what he's bringing to this offense. Because I think he lost a little bit of that confidence the last 2 weeks in just dropping back in the pocket and being a pocket passer, and teams attacked him hard.
I agree with you, Bill. He rushed for 115 yards. He's passed for 251 yards. What a game for Michael Vick. Third punt of the game for Chris Moore. Let's see if the Broncos can get to him. They need a block to have a chance. Moore on the low snap, got it away. Rod Smith at the 40. Good return, midfield. Out of bounds in Falcons territory at the 48.
Nate Jackson was close on the block. Extremely close on the block.
12-yard return by Rod Smith. Take a look.
Well, take a look at number 14. He's going to come right inside here. Right there. Right off the seam. Lays out and just misses the punt. But great field position again.
Yeah.
You know, and with 2:39 left, heck, 2 scores. That's it.
They have the 2-minute warning to stop the clock. They need a quick strike here. 2 scores would do it for the Broncos. The Falcons 48. Plummer steps up under pressure. Dumps it off. Rod Smith, flag on the play. Down at the Falcon 32. Smith had enough for the first down. And it's against Atlanta. Rod Smith.
I don't know if he's
illegal contact. Defense. Number 36. Penalties decline. First down.
Rod Smith has had over 200 yards in receptions, a career high for him.
He's dying. Look. I mean, he is just sucking trogs.
And Jake Plummer has passed for 400 yards.
He's back there returning punts as well. I don't think he's come out of this one offensive series.
Plummer throwing is intercepted by Kevin Mathis. And he's going to go all the way. Kevin Mathis, touchdown Atlanta. And that's it. Wow. He stepped in front of, I believe it was Rod Smith.
Yes, it was, Sam. And I think that Mathis kind of felt that. Look at Rod. I mean, he's dead tired. And he's out there, and Jake threw the ball to where he was going to be, and here comes the break by Mathis. You know, Mathis, he's seen the receivers. You get a feel for the people you're playing against and where they are emotionally and physically at the time of the game. And I think he just waited, just jumped in front of that thing on the out.
Second interception return for a touchdown by Kevin Mathis. We saw him get one in Carolina. 66-yard interception in return. Feely's extra point is good. The Atlanta Falcons lead it 41-21.
D'Angelo Hall has been out there all day. So has Jason Webster. But take a look right here. Here's Kevin Mathis. You have nickel defense out on the field. You bring in your nickel slot back. And here he is on a tired Smith who just ran the last route for a catch, a punt return, has been out there all the time, and he just jumps the route.
Falcons playing without Aaron Beasley, without Corey Hall. Mathis important. And he picks it off and takes it all away. 3 interceptions thrown by Jake Plummer in the game. And 8 in the last 4 games. So despite a career receiving day for Rod Smith, it's going to end in disappointment. Arthur Blank, the owner of the Falcons, looking very happy right now because the Falcons are about to go into their bye week at 6-2 and on top of the NFC South. Jay Feely will kick off. Rock Alexander deep. Alexander backpedals, drops the ball. It'll be a touchback, and the Broncos will start from the 20-yard line. They could use one of those 80-yard touchdown passes again. February is a great month on Fox. We've got the Great American Race, the Daytona 500, and we have Super Bowl 39 from Jacksonville. It doesn't get better than that. History will be made on Fox in February. Right here in Denver, the Broncos about to suffer their first home defeat. Falcons have 6 defensive backs in there. Plummer throws, got it to Reuben Drones.
They have 7 defensive backs in there.
Up to the 28-yard line. He's dropping everybody back.
7.
You see 7?
7 DBs.
Okay. That's the whole collection.
No,
2 guys out with injuries. Plummer throws and completes to Ashley Lalee. Jake Plummer has thrown for over 400 yards in the game. He's thrown 3 touchdown passes, but he's been picked off 3 times. We have reached the 2-minute warning. The Broncos need a miracle. The Falcons are closing in on a big win.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by SBC. Going beyond the call.
SBC postgame report is coming up from the studio with JB, Terry, Howie, and Jimmy looking at the scores and highlights around the league. Fox Sports Ticker will tell you what all the players have done around the league and the great games that the players have had. First down for Denver at their own 42. Plummer throwing, and it's broken up. Almost intercepted.
That's a pass interception.
Yeah?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Jason Webster was involved. The Atlanta Falcons regrouping after a 56-10 loss in Kansas City last week.
Pass interference, defense, number 23, automatic, first down.
They call it on Kevin Mathis.
Oh, he knocked the receiver to the ground before the ball even got there.
Atlanta Falcons will go to the bye week next week with a record of 6-2, leading the NFC South.
You know, there's nothing that can overcome, you know, a veteran team and a team in their own stadium that just plain youth and ignorance sometimes. You know, really, I mean, these guys are just out there, and they came together and they bounced back just because they're a bunch of young guys just trying to do one thing, trying to accomplish one thing, Sam. So they don't get caught up in all the X's and O's and who we have and who we don't have, and Mike Vick, can he not, or is it duck it or is it done, or receivers don't catch balls. They throw all that stuff out the window, and if you're getting beat 56-10, they just bounce back and come out and compete. And it's paid off.
Plummer under pressure, running and looking, throwing into the end zone. He's got a man, Ashley Lalee. Touchdown, Denver. Jake Plummer, who throws on the run better than anyone. throws his 4th touchdown pass of the game. 35 yards to Ashley Lilly. And Lilly wide open. Got behind D'Angelo Hall. And the safety a little late. Sadiq Shabazz late getting over. Today's game was produced by Michael Burks, directed by Rich Russo, Associate Director Tom Yohe, Broadcast Associate Nara Wang, Technical Producer Frank Phillips. Studio show produced by Scott Ackerson, directed by Bob Levy. Studio Technical Supervisor is Jack Simmons. Senior producer of Fox Sports, Bill Brown, and the executive producers of Fox Sports, Red Gorin and David Hill. Our technical director, Bob Goosley. Audio engineer is Kevin McCloskey. Statistician in the booth, Emmett McGuire. Our spotter, Gary Lynn. And a special thanks to a young lady who's worked with us the first half of the season, Lisa Hansen. She's done a great job on Chiron.
Outstanding job. Well, Miss Lisa, she used to bake us cookies, too. You know, it's easy for me, Sam. Some cookies, and I'm going to miss Lisa.
Well, you have to talk to Melody. Danko's coming back after giving birth. She's coming back, and you'll have to have her bake you some cookies.
Yeah, new mom, though. They're awful busy, Sam. I don't know if cooking cookies for Big Bill is going to fit into that schedule. Also, I want to thank our booth runner, Jack Doyle. Outstanding job supplying hot dogs here at halftime, you know.
It's always about food.
Yeah, well, it's easy. It's very simple with me.
41-28. Broncos set up for an onside kick. Here they come. Elam lets it go. High bouncer. Finneran juggles. It's loose. They dive for it.
They got
Broncos have it.
Oh, that was a heck of an onside kick, too. I really like that one.
And Finneran, who's usually very reliable with his hands, a wide receiver, couldn't handle the ball.
It was the height of the ball. Jason Elam, it was the height of the ball. They kicked that thing at the top, so it gets that bounce. So on the second bounce, Sam, the point sticks and it ricochets high into the air. Watch this thing. See it? That's where it's up here, and there it is, coming down.
Sorry, Bill.
That's what makes that so difficult.
Good play by Chris Young to hit Finneran.
Take a look at the ball. Hits the top of it. Now, see that? On the second bounce, it's up and back down quick.
And Nick Ferguson recovered at the Atlanta 45. No timeouts for the Broncos. Plummer looking and throwing incomplete. And intended for the exhausted Rod Smith. But Smith is out there giving everything. He has had 9 catches in the game for 208 yards. He needs 2 more receptions to pass Shannon Sharp for the all-time Denver record in receptions. He's tied Shannon Sharp for all-time touchdowns with the one he caught today. Plummer dropping back under pressure. Got away from Kearney. Lets it fly to the end zone. Incomplete. Kevin Mathis was covering on the play.
They want a flag on it, too.
Ashley Lilly was the man deep in the corner. Jake Plummer is 29 for 52, 472 yards passing. A career high. There's the end of the play with Mathis, and a little bumping there with Ashley Lilly, but both players going for the ball. 4 wide receivers in as Nate Jackson has come in. Make it 3 wide receivers, 1 tight end, and the running back Reuben Drones. Plummer to Drones. Trying to get to the sideline. Falcons keep him inbounds. Great play by D'Angelo Hall.
Just keeping him inbounds.
Yes.
Keep the clock running. Don't let them stop it.
Broncos have no timeouts. It's a 4th and 1. Clock still running. And they need 2 touchdowns. And won't have enough time to get them. Plummer to Drones. Breaks away. And down at the 19-yard line. And that is it. The Atlanta Falcons have come into Denver, one of the toughest places to play. And they have defeated the Denver Broncos, led by the passing and running of Michael Vick, 41-28. They're 6-2.